Hola, mi gente, and welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, queries, statements, or otherwise, we have multiple ways to be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those that need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is @skimpod. That is SKIMPOD. That's where I like to fight. For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. That's crunchy being spelled with a K. We're available via Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Spotify, and a partridge in a pear tree. And of course the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show. And a band plays on here at Skim, and to that end, we provide you a Podcastcast, a musical discussion podcast built on a hip-hop foundation, and you know what? It's dope. Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, your host, the Internet's Tayrell713, and me? Well, damn it, I'm the real ODP.
Christmas Eve, I believe 76 was the year. Girls and boys full of joy with the season cheer. Smell the sky, hella pies and cakes getting baked. To be ate after everything gone off your plate. But wait, not tonight, it's straight beans and rice. On the table, are we able to proceed tonight? I wonder what the morn's bringing, so it's hard to doze off. 3 o'clock in my socks, I crack the dose off. Hoping when I open the door, I see Santa. Now who the hell is this in this blue bandana? Messing with the boxes that's up under the tree. Look like Santa crossed into a woman to me. Now I'm coming to see the whole picture getting clearer. How we have less as Xmas gets nearer. Mirror, mirror, please, it seems I've been deceived. And thanking Saint Trick for the gifts I received. So I creep back and act like I ain't even peeped it. This'll be me and Mom's private secret. Hello.
Come straight to the ghetto.
Hello, and welcome to Stays Crunchy and Milk. It's episode 377. I'm joined by the man of 1,000 nicknames, the artist formerly known as Chesterfield Rockwell, the 216's own Tatum.
This is episode 377, and I'm still kicking people in the chest.
Respect due. We're also joined by the guy whose Series X finally showed up. It's Lunchbox.
The only X I'm interested in is the one that's being removed from Pornhub.
We also have the last of the Golden Coquis, the suburban Puerto Ricans, the real ODP, my homeboy Gabe.
Yeah, I could use some ho-ho-hos up in this house.
Better hit Pornhub then before they remove them.
This episode is sponsored by Bella Bruja LLC, but we'll talk about that more later. For now, let's get to it. In case you're wondering, that is indeed Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto. That is by one Snoop Dogg, featuring badass Daz, that nigga Daz, or Daz Dillinger, depending on what his name is. Big Trey D and Nate Dogg is on the hook. That is Trey D's verse. It is it might be one of my favorite verses in all of hip hop because it's so good. And Trey D could have been something, and instead Trey D went to jail. What are you gonna do? So
What are you for?
it might be attempted murder. Trey D. Let's look up Big Trey D.
Man, how are you just gonna attempt murder?
Yeah, 12 years attempted murder.
He out by now, right?
Stemming from a 2003 incident in which he fired at rival gang members. He was imprisoned at California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo, California for 9 years and was released from prison on April 3rd, 2014. Good call, Ant. So he is out. I don't know what he's up to, but if he could be rapping, it'd be real great because buddy is damn good at it. Like one of the few cats of them dog pound motherfuckers who I would say could tete-a-tete, toe-to-toe at all times with Snoop. And Snoop is a phenomenally gifted MC. People sleep on that shit all the time because they think, oh, Snoop and his weed and his shizzle dizzle. But no, Snoop Dogg can rap his goddamn ass off. And I think people sleep on that. So.
But it's one strange dichotomy to that. It's not a Snoop Dogg. I don't really like many songs from No Limit.
Yeah.
But Down For My Niggas is a great song. And Snoop is terrible on that song.
But
he brings the whole song down.
That was at that time when Snoop definitely didn't want to be on that label. He just sucked it up. He dealt with that for
to get out of Death Row.
Yeah, he dealt with that for the 2 or 3 albums he had to do to get the fuck from under Suge's thumb. And there you go. And like I said, it's like his first album after Death Row, which I think was that Rhythm and Gangsta.
Rhythm and Gangsta. You mean after
he left Death Row?
He left. That's after he left. No Limit.
I mean, No Limit. Forgive me. Yeah.
Rhythm and Gangsta is a modern day classic.
For
it's like
sure.
One of my favorite my favorite Snoop album.
So yeah, okay. So Ego Trip and Malice in Wonderland, documentary, so forth and so on. Yeah, man. It's like Snoop. Anyway, just understand. Yeah, paid the cost to be the boss.
It's good too.
Yeah, the last meal was his last Death Row. So his first one was Paid the Cost to Be the Boss, and his next one after that was R&G, Rhythm and Gangsta. Came in with the Neptunes. That album is so good.
Yeah, that album was pretty good from beginning to end.
Yeah, man.
Like, you can ride through there pretty much that whole album, except for like 1, maybe 2 songs.
Yeah, everybody named Mama's on it. Justin Timberlake's on the album. 50 Cent's on that album. It's
you still can't fuck me.
Yeah, bruh. You telling me this is a sign? Pharrell, Boosie, the BeeGees. How did he get he got the BeeGees on the album, dog? It's just, come on,
man. Bro. I watched that BeeGees documentary on HBO Max or HBO proper. Man, beautiful.
Really?
That is such a great documentary, and like, it's kind of cool the way they do it. Like, the music they choose to play under there is great, and like they talk about like the whole disco sucks thing.
Yeah.
And like this one black dude who was working at the stadium in Chicago at the time, he was just like, man, that shit was racist lightweight because people was bringing out albums, like they was bringing in Curtis and Stevie and all this other stuff. I'm like, that's not even disco.
Didn't we? There was a This American Life about that.
I have to go back and listen to that.
That is phenomenal because it's so clearly racist. It was clearly racist because what those people, what the people who were bringing Disco Sucks albums, what they were basically doing was associating disco with black people, and it was like wild. So that is
not only black people but also gay people
was
too.
Racist.
Yes, pretty much. Like the BeeGees got caught up in it a little bit because like man. Go watch that documentary. Like, they talk about how he started doing how Barry Gibb started doing that whole falsetto thing. Because I didn't realize, I knew some of the songs they did before, like they found their new sound. But like, because they have broke up, and it's just a good documentary. You should watch it. Yeah, it was really good. It was very interesting. I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately. And
did you see that one of it's a docu-series, Murder in Middle Island?
Yes.
Middle Beach, whatever the shit was.
Yes.
It was real.
With the son trying to figure out who killed his mom.
Yeah, I saw actually only the last episode of it. I was sitting with Vanessa, she was watching it. But I really did enjoy that, man. For the bit I watched, I was like, that's really well done.
Yeah, if you guys haven't watched it, also on HBO Max, The Flight Attendant, great show. Finished that out today.
Vanessa just finished it like a little bit ago, and it texted me about it. How funny!
I'm planning on getting HBO when Wonder Woman drops, and that was on my list of things to watch. I
got you. My Cyberpunk came with a 30-day free script. Just use a different email. So
yeah, I have one of those too. So if you guys, we can talk about that off air. I have one too. I was gonna send that in the chat, but I was like up in until 2:30 in the morning playing Cyberpunk, so I didn't want to
Is that game good? Because now I bought the Xbox, and my plan was obviously initially to play Halo, but Halo's postponed. So right now, all I have is the options what's available with the Game Pass. I don't have an actual Xbox game that I bought to play. And I was looking at Cyberpunk because nothing else was really speaking to me. I went on to GameStop's website the other day and I went through their list of Xbox games and I've never played Far Cry, and like I'm not like a Hitman person and all that. So like none of those games were like calling out to me. I never played Gears of War.
Really?
Yeah, like you would think that I would have, honestly, but yeah, I never did.
Gabe and I beat the first 3 Gears of War together.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so just that is definitely pre-Gaber having children. But yeah, he would come through and we knock out Gears games, and like you said, we end up beating the first 3. I have not finished 5 yet, but it's very good. But how good is it if I hadn't finished it? But that's not whatever. Speaking of Cyberpunk, I just pulled this story.
Well, before you say that, I don't know. I just started playing it yesterday, so it seems to be pretty good, and it's supposed to be like a. I know you're going to do this anyway. Like just watch one of the YouTube walkthroughs and just see what you think.
Is it a standalone game, or is it an online like MMORP or something like that?
Standalone game.
Okay.
Standalone single player game, RPG elements, but everything has RPG elements at this point. Like every single player game has some RPG elements in it. Mm-hmm. But this story is from Polygon. This just popped at 8:14 tonight, so this happened very recently. Sony offering Cyberpunk 2077 refunds pulls game from PlayStation stores. PS4 owners who purchase Cyberpunk digitally can get a full refund. Sony Interactive Entertainment said Thursday it will, this is by Michael McWhirter over at Polygon. Sony Interactive Entertainment said Thursday it will offer full refunds for the PlayStation 4 version of Cyberpunk 2077 for customers who purchased it digitally. Sony also announced plans to remove the game from the PlayStation Store until further notice. As of Thursday evening, Cyberpunk 2077 no longer appears when searching the PlayStation Store for Cyberpunk. The game's project page now appears blank on the web-based version of the store. The PlayStation maker announced the refund offer via Twitter on its support account, saying on its website, SIE strives to ensure a high level of customer satisfaction. Therefore, we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via PlayStation Store. SIE will also be removing Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store until further notice. Once we have confirmed that you purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via the PlayStation Store, we will begin processing your refund. Please note the completion of your refund may vary based on your payment method and financial institution. Sony's decision comes after widespread complaints about the quality of Cyberpunk 2077 on last-gen consoles, and an apology from publisher CD Projekt, which instructed dissatisfied customers to seek refunds from Sony and Microsoft if they purchased the game digitally. CD Projekt executives apologized to fans on Mondays for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. Cyberpunk 2077 has become infamous for its poor technical performance, including amusing and serious game-breaking bugs. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, CD Projekt said in a statement, which was signed by Marcin Iwinski, founder of parent company CD Projekt, and all of its board of directors. The company later admitted they took the wrong approach how they handled and showcased the console version of Cyberpunk 2077. The deal with Cyberpunk 2077 is it is built for high-end PCs. It plays better on the Pro versions of last gen, so the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. It plays even better if you have a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X. But none of them play as well as the PC version. But even then, the PC version, though pretty, is also broke to shit with all kinds of bugs and stuff and so forth. So it's literally a game that they pushed back this game 3 times. They announced it in 2012. In 2012. So this game has been being worked on for 8 years. They pushed it back. It was supposed to come out in April. They pushed it to November, and then from November to December 12th when it came out. It is really, really, really broken and busted in ways that is like surprising based on the pedigree of CD Projekt Red, which is a very good maker of games. But they have a history of releasing busted as shit games that they eventually fix in due time. So the things that are broken with Cyberpunk right now, like I said, they've already scheduled two big patches to fix it. One comes out in January, one comes out in February, and of course they did some day one shit and so forth. But what it comes down to on base hardware, this game is just fucked. And like I said, I'd suggest anybody go check out, if you're a gamer and give a fuck, or just are interested in looking at technical bugs in software, I would tell you to go check out the YouTube videos of this game. It is wild how janky it is right now. But apparently its story is really compelling. The characters are also the same. So it's like it has so much. It has good bones, good potential structure. It's just not doing what it's supposed to do. So they never when they had it reviewed, they only sent out PC codes. So people could only play it on PC and they could see how bigly, this is pretty, it plays well, you know what I'm saying? And it's less bugs, not bug free, but just less bugs. They never showed what it looked like on base consoles. They did show what it looked like on Pro, again, the Pro and the Xbox One X. And it's like, it's not bad, you know what I'm saying? I can see where you can see where it'll hit you up at, but it's not bad. But they never show what it looked like on base consoles. I'm telling you right now, from some of the videos that people put out there, it looked like a terrible N64 game. So it's interesting how like I said, on base hardware, like I said, this game is just nah. It's just a no for right now. But like I said, if you have a Pro, Xbox One X, of course PS5 and Series X and Series S for that matter, you're pretty much good to go. And you'll be relatively fine with it. But it is a big deal when a company of Sony size says, fuck that, I'm pulling that game off my storefront, because that's how jacked up it is. Plus they had said they had told people, like in a statement, go get refunds from Sony and Microsoft before discussing it with either Sony or Microsoft. And so then of course that puts them in a bad position, you know what I'm saying? Also, people were like, how the fuck did this get past certification? And because, Microsoft and Sony has to say, okay, we think this game can play on our systems. And it got past certification apparently because just based on trust. They trusted this company to be like, they said it would be fixed by the time it rolls out. And they just didn't do it. They didn't pull it off. So it's a wild one for this particular game. So, I mean, I bought it. It is in the Xbox right now. I would tell you, Daniel, depending on how you, whatever. First, install the disc. Then download the updates, because it keep trying to do the same thing at once, and it always just end up saying, I can't do this. The Xbox be wilding in that regard. So if you have some shit you're installing, install first, then update, or do the upgrade, as opposed to trying to do them at the same time, because it just acts a fool when you try to do it at the same time. Heads up to all my Xbox Series X owners. That's a little tidbit your boy done figured out in a month plus of ownership here. So it's a wild one. What kind of games you into, man? I know you play Halo, but what do you feel you've been into lately?
Well, over the years, like I used to play Fable. I played Madden for a while. Halo was a big one for me.
Yeah.
I tried to play a couple like the Star Wars games and stuff, but they were always kind of janky. Like on the next gen consoles. Like I liked like Star Wars Shadows of the Empire on N64.
Okay.
And I'd get some fun out of the pod racing game, but like the Rogue Squadron game, I played that quite a bit, but like I wasn't really into it. And then I tried, like I had a couple for the original Xbox, but like they weren't that great.
Well, because you have Game Pass Ultimate, that means you have EA Play, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is up just on there. And
I saw it on the menu the other day. I downloaded Madden 20 when I finished the initial update of the Xbox. Yeah. So that was the first game I downloaded.
Well, I would tell you, Fallen Order is kind of fucking amazing. I really, really am enjoying it. I feel like I might be nearing endgame on that one, but I have very much enjoyed it. Very, very, very good game, and I would say any of y'all out there, if you can play that game, go ahead and play that game because it's really good. Again, that's not necessarily a Series X games, but there's not a ton of Series X games to be had. So it's more like playing upgraded versions of Xbox One X, Xbox One and One X games right now. That's just where they are right now. So I would like to say, but that game is really good, and like I said, you have access to it. Spiritfarer. It's probably one of my favorite games I played this year. Not sure it's going to be up your alley. It's a side scroller 2D. It's got some RPG. It's a whole lot going on in that game, but I really ended up enjoying it. I didn't think I would. I saw a few people playing it and a lot of people suggesting. I was like, well, let me see what this is about. And it got its hooks in me, and I super enjoyed it. Again, that's on Game Pass as well, so you can play it. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of your service you pay for already. So
yeah, I was having an issue because I like the bundle I bought came with a Game Pass code for 3 months. Yeah. And then I bought the 3 from Target that were on sale. And then when I tried to redeem them all, the ones at Target weren't working. So I'm going to have to figure that out before I get really pissed off.
Okay, so do you have... Yeah, you do. You said you downloaded Madden. So yeah, you've already done it. So you're good to go with that. But you just got to figure out your Target codes. Very good.
Yeah. That, and I have to figure out where, like... So, like, the bundle I bought from GameStop came with the system. It came with a terabyte memory card to plug into the back of the system.
Oh, you got that. I want that.
Yeah, the expandable hard drive or whatever. Yeah, I got because, like, they had a couple different bundles. And, like, I bought, like, the expensive one because it was, like, hardware upgrades. Yeah. Like, I didn't necessarily want to be forced into buying, like, a Call of Duty variant or something like that. So I went for the stuff that, like, I would probably buy over time anyway, like the terabyte chip. Because, like, the way games are with downloading these days, you're going to fill up the hard drive in no time. Just a couple of games, and it's, like, the thing's at capacity. So I felt like I was going to go for need over, like, variants. It came with a headset that, like, because I'm pretty sure I can just use my headset from the Xbox One, right? Yeah. Like, the controllers are the same. So it came with a headset that I don't actually need or want. So I might just try and re-gift that or something. And then it came with the 3 months of the Ultimate Game Pass. And then it came with, like, $50 in Xbox credit. And I think that... Oh, and it came with an extra controller. So I actually have like 5 or 6 Xbox controllers laying around the house now.
So the black one that came in the box is...
It's real clicky.
I love it. It's now my my PC controller. And the blue one is the one I actually play on the Series X. I love the clicky nature of it. That's how I like my buttons to be on a controller. So I very much enjoy that particular one. I like the D-pad on that one as well. Once I finish Miles Morales, I have not been back on the PlayStation since. But I turned it on to fuck around and download something the other day. I forgot what, but whatever. Whatever free game they was giving away, I downloaded. Oh no, and I downloaded Crash on the PlayStation. But I have not really been playing the PlayStation. Like, I am an Xbox guy. I have the Nintendo and Sony systems because when shit comes on those, I want to be able to play it. So I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm a FOMO ass motherfucker. I don't want to miss out. You know what I'm saying? But I have really been, like I said, going hard on the Xbox. Plus, I love achievements, man. I'm almost at 100,000, and I'm feeling good about that. So I can't wait to cross that particular horizon. So I dig it, man. I can say when you get it all, whatever. I want to play. I want us all to play Fortnite. It's free, baby. Come on, man. We can all just sit and pop.
I don't have an Xbox.
You don't need an Xbox. It plays against on everything. That's the point. You
can even play on your phone.
It has crossplay. So
yeah, it's like Call of Duty.
Yeah, man. So all
Call of Duty has crossplay.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, Call of Duty you can be on like any system now.
And we can get our multiplayer popping. So that's what I'm saying. We can all get some get us some Fortnite and pop get our shooty going.
It's just a rough time of the year because like. I work Monday through Friday, and then, like, I have a couple things, we do this on Thursdays. I have a couple other things during the evenings that I'm into, like, after work right now, so it's like I'm not playing games on some of those days. And then when the weekends roll around, I'm watching football. Like, football will be over in about a month and a half, and then, like, it won't matter. I'll have months of available weekend time where I can just dick around and do whatever. Yeah. But, like, right now, it's like you were talking to me about playing Sunday, like... I'm watching football from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until midnight. Like, there is no, like... I have, like, about a half-hour break time in the evening between the 4 o'clock game and the primetime 8 p.m. game. And that's usually when I do, like, clean the cat litter box and I take the trash to the curb.
That
Schedule to the T.
Yeah, my Sundays are pretty regimented. Like, I always get up and say that I'm going to be productive, but then I just dick around and, like, play games for, like, 2 hours. Then the 1 o'clock game starts, and I just watch football until about 7:30. That game ends, then, like, I'll either finish doing some cooking, or I take the trash out, do the litter box, and then around 8:15 the next game starts, and I watch that until bedtime.
All right, we gets now. Let me proceed with just. The last show you heard, which technically not even up yet, but let me just get y'all right quick, my listeners who might be concerned. Like, what the hell's going on? T, whatever. What's going on with the shows? So, I think on that last show that is, again, you hadn't heard yet, I said that my partner had pneumonia.
Not old pneumonia?
Days after that, we went to the hospital, to the emergency room, because she was coughing up blood, to find out, oh no, it was not pneumonia. It turns out you have a pulmonary embolism, both lungs, bilateral pulmonary embolism, meaning my partner had blood clots in both her lungs, and was immediately whisked away from the emergency room, our local emergency room, to the hospital up the road a bit. So she was in a way, and as it turns out, her lungs were pretty fucked up. It's like well and true damage. We definitely just skirted some real serious shit. And not even to say it's not real serious at this point, because it still is. But like I said, she is on the mend. She's feeling considerably better, and at this point has gone back to work. Just started back at work yesterday, and from the time we're recording this. That being said, it means I have been doing what I have to do to try to take care of my partner, but also take care of the house and everything like that, all in the midst of the holiday season. So it means that showbiz takes a back seat. It truly does. I have not been able to do all of which I need to do, and I'm sorry for that. So it means it has meant later shows than I would normally want to give you, but. My personal life, my partner, my family, I'm saying, and these people, of course, they come first, and so that's just what it is. I know nobody's really salty off of that. Our numbers are fine, but I just want to give you an explanation because you do indeed deserve that. So, big up and for everybody who's been thinking well and sending love to us during this time. Thank you for that, and just looking out for us and so forth. Gabe's wife came over and brought us lunch the other day. It was very sweet of her. And Vanessa's mom came through and brought. People always do that. They just bring food because for whatever reason. So in Gabe's wife's case, she knows me, so she knows what's up. Her coming through is just a sweet thing. But everybody else who wants to come through just thinks, oh, that poor man who must not know how to do what anything, not realizing I was a single dad for a while, people. I know what I'm up to in this life. It's not. I'm structured. I know what to do. I promise you. I can cook. It's okay. But people worry, and who am I to deny them their worry? That's okay if you want to be concerned that I can't do what I do to take care of my home. But hey, whatever. But like I said, just want to give you the listeners that particular heads up, and to get you right. So. Like I said, I got a couple more stories. A general overview telling you that remember we told you last time that we were surrounded by purple counties in Ohio, meaning everybody was in a bad way here. At this point, the counties in Ohio started to dial it back. The Thanksgiving surge did not come because seemingly people stayed their ass home and did not go have a lot of Thanksgiving outings. So currently,
my nephew is in college.
Yeah.
Gave it to his whole family, pretty much.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard of a few people that passed it along to their families.
So, my nephew, my niece, his mother, their stepfather, the little one might got it now. So everybody got it.
Yeah, man.
Like my niece just got off the hospital like the day before yesterday.
Wow. Well, I'm glad she's out. And
yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, they tested the new drug on her.
The vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Oh,
yep.
There you go. That's what's up there.
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
Yeah, it's been rough, man. Like, you had that shit with Vanessa, COVID's still flying around. My grandmother apparently fell and was in the hospital. My ceiling in my living room was leaking water. I need a new roof on my garage. It's been rough.
So you need 2 new roofs?
So, I know I didn't like fill you guys in on all this shit. I figured I'd save it for the show. So, I mean, you guys had a general idea of what happened when it started, but it's been 2 weeks now, and I haven't told you guys of all the shit that's gone on. So, it was actually the morning after we last recorded 2 weeks ago. I was sitting in here at this computer working, and I start hearing like a tapping noise, and I look over and I'm like, I don't see anything, and like I think it had been snowing, like we just had the massive snowstorm, and I was thinking like maybe like something was tapping outside, like maybe some water was falling or something was like dropping off the roof or something like that. So I looked out the window and I didn't see anything. Like there was no delivery drivers or anything, but I kept hearing like a slight tap. But it wasn't like tap 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 tap. It was like tap, silence for a bit, tap, and I'm just like, what? Because it was like loud enough for me to get my attention drawn away from my computer desk. So then I'm like, I don't see anything and nothing's going on. I'm like, maybe it's just nothing, I'll just ignore it. And then like I went back to work, and like a minute later, some movement, I caught it out of the corner of my eye, like I saw something move. So then I look over and I noticed that one of the pillows on the couch has like a wet circle on it. And then I look up and I see a couple drops fall from the ceiling, and I'm like, motherfucker. So I'm like, I go over there and I look, and like there's like a kind of like a little bit of a crack in the paint in the ceiling, and there's like definitely like water drops kind of like coming down out of it. They're not steady, but they're like every couple seconds, just one little drop, just bloop, bloop. And I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta get this taken care of. So, I go on like my home insurance's website, and like I file a claim, and like they called me within like less than a minute. And so I explained to the lady what was going on. So they set up an appointment for like water treatment company to come out and take a look and see what was going on. So they ended up coming. I called I talked to the insurance lady about 10:30 in the morning, and then the water treatment people came around like 4:30, and it was like an older dude and then a younger kid. You know, it's like a Sith and his apprentice. So like the older dude sends the spry young lad up into my attic because like I don't have like a finished attic, and like there's not like stairs or anything. It's kind of like a makeshift like fireman's ladder over here behind in the closet. Like that was that day that I realized they built that closet as an addition to the living room. It wasn't there originally. So like the kid goes up there and he took some pictures, and then like they had like a meter that they were like walking around like putting on my ceiling to get like a water reading to see like how far the water damage had like seeped out. And they like gave their recommendation to the insurance company, and he like tells me that like I need to get the roof tarped before they'll do anything. And so then he gives me like a roofer contact that he like met at another job at some point, and like he calls the dude, and the guy like talks to me, and he takes my information, and this was on a Friday, mind you, and he tells me that like he's got to finish up a job the next day, but that he'll call me Sunday morning and he'll come over and he'll tarp the roof, and but he might even be able to come over Saturday if they finish the other job soon. So then I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I can deal with that because it's not like nothing's broken in here. It's not pouring out. It actually had stopped at that point, almost like, you know, like I ran out of water. So I'm like, and I looked at the weather and I'm like, all right, we don't have any snow or rain coming until like the next weekend. So I'm like, I got some time here. So then like Sunday comes and the guy never calls me. He never shows up. Monday comes, Monday comes and like I call off work because I don't feel like logging online, so I play hooky. The guy never calls, never shows. Tuesday comes, I play hooky again. So I played hooky for 2 days from work. And around the afternoon, evening time, the insurance company calls and like they assigned a caseworker to my claim. And I talked to him and I told him what had gone on up to that point. And he goes, okay, I will. He goes, I'll reach out to one of our contacts at a local roof inspection company, and I'll have them come look at your roof to see, what we need to do. So the roof people call me the next morning, and they come out like 2 hours later, and it's just a guy. He goes up on my roof on the house, and he goes up on the roof on the garage, and he comes back and knocks on the door and tells me that like he couldn't find any damage on the roof above the living room, like on the actual house. That he thinks what happened is because the snowstorm was so bad that somehow some ice had gotten pushed up underneath the flashing or something and leaked in through the roof that way, which makes sense. I would say at this point. At the time he told me that, I was very skeptical, but since then we've had snowed 2 more times and it's rained and nothing has come through the ceiling. So, and that snowstorm that day was really
super bad.
Like, we had like a foot of snow.
In very short order.
So, yeah. But he did find that I had roof damage on my garage. So he tarped a couple spots of my roof, the garage roof. And he sent off his report to the insurance company. And then the dude called me from the insurance company like later that evening and told me that the insurance company was going to give me money so that I could have like a water treatment company. Probably the people that came to do the initial inspection. They'll come out and they'll repair the insulation in the attic, the portion that was damaged. They'll fix the portion of the ceiling in the living room that's damaged because it's plaster and paint. So they'll repair that stuff, and then I need to hire a roofing company to repair the garage, and I guess I have like 6 months to submit like a completion certificate or something. I have to read through all the documents like better, but from my understanding, like I'm waiting on the check to come. Like they're sending me like after depreciation and my deductible, like a check for like $1,800. Cause like I guess the living room they're estimating will cost somewhere around $800. And then the garage will be like $2,000 something. Okay. So, I have to pay out of pocket for like my deductible's $1,000 and then depreciation and whatnot. But like my thing is like, I'm probably not going to be able to get the garage roof done for a couple months because we're about to hit into winter and they can't do a garage roof when there's snow falling. So I'm probably going to have to wait until around March or April before I can I'll have to start making calls probably late February, early March to have something scheduled or at least like on the books. But I'm not going to be able to have anyone come out in like the next month or two. Like when, it's going to be ice and snow on that bitch for the next like 3 months. So, I mean, it's my garage. Like it's not ideal, but he did tarp it and like, it's just the garage. Like at least it's not the fucking home. Like if my garage has a leak, it is what it is. Like if I get some water drippage onto a pile of wood, I can live with that, But, so, I'm waiting on the check to show up from the insurance company, and then when the check gets here, I'll call the water guy back and have him come. Like, I'm just waiting on the money to show up. Like, yeah, I could probably call him and just pay out of pocket, then reimburse myself with the check, but, like, since I'm not in a dire need right now, I'm waiting on the money to show up, and, I made sure to ask a lot of questions and to be thorough, because I've never fucking filed an insurance claim for a house before, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't fuck anything up or miss something. And I do kind of feel like irritated a little bit though, the fact that like my premiums will probably go up and all it was is like a fucking
freak accident.
A freak accident that like I probably could have just hired the goddamn water repairman myself. And like I don't give a fuck about my garage roof. Like I do and I don't. So it's like, I'm like, fuck, man, I hope my premiums don't go up to the point where I regret making that fucking phone call.
But, I mean, this is what you pay for insurance for, man. And like I said, I know you don't want to be paying out more, but you've been making some bigger payments recently, trying to get your get your numbers down anyway. So it's going to end up balancing itself all out when it's all said and done. So you got.
Well, I mean, when I make bigger payments, though, that'll go towards my homeowner's insurance.
I know, but I'm saying you've been making bigger payments so you can get rid of the MIs, right?
Yeah, but that's probably not going to happen for like 3 years.
Oh,
you know? Like I haven't made a bigger payment in like 2-3 months because like, you know, the holidays have been here. I fucking Christmas shopping. I bought that Xbox. Like, you know, you and I took that trip. I ain't made an extended mortgage payment since like September.
Well, anyway. Fine. Basically, Ohio still sucks as rich with COVID. In particular, I found this story to be interesting as we keep walking this thin blue line. This is from the Good People at Scene, written by Pete Colts. With COVID vaccine coming, will Ohio legislators still insist on our freedom to kill others? This is such a good fucking title that I had to grab the article.
I would hope so.
Compared to COVID, the Vietnam War was a Chagrin Falls catfight. It's just a good. That's how you start a story. It took the virus just 9 months to kill 5 times the number of Americans that Vietnam took in 11 years. Christ. Now vaccines are on the way. Ohio, with 7,400 dead and counting, may soon see respite. If only the legislator doesn't decide we have the right to go on killing each other. As you may know, this August body is a hotbed of anti-vaxxers. Much like the anti-mask brigades, they're insta experts. The kind of people who see a First Energy truck drive down the street and think it makes them master electricians. They believe it's their right to defy medicine, even if it makes others sick and dead. It's called the medical freedom movement, fashioned after the modern version of freedom, which either resembles a child screaming on the floor of a toy owl. It's led by Health Freedom Ohio. Go to their website and you'll be treated to a parade of crack pottery. Who knows if legislators actually believe any of this? What we do know is that wherever the gullible gather, politicians will feast on their ignorance. Take Representative Christina Hagan, Republican of Alliance, whose work as a head tennis coach at Marlington High makes her an expert in airborne pathogens. She pushed a bill that would ban employees from discriminating against people who refuse vaccinations. In other words, a distrust of science gives you the right to sicken all around you. The late Representative Don Manning, Republican of New Middleton, wanted to force schools to inform parents how easy it is to opt out of vaccinations. The freedom to imperil their children should also extend to yours. Then there's Representative Scott Lips, Republican Franklin County, whose career in mattress sales naturally made him chairman of the Ohio Health Committee. In an April conference call, just as COVID was raging, he warned freedom fighters that big medicine was coming for their health. We're going to face a couple of bills that this group does not like. He told them, and I have to have the energy to stop this vaccine shit that's coming. The conspiracy theorists aren't just co-signed to the drooling section of the legislature. In March, the GOP's second in command, House Speaker pro tempore Jim Butler, Republican Oakwood, spoke of the growing anti-vax movement in Columbus during a Health Freedom Town Hall. I've been around a long time, almost 10 years now, Butler said, from when I started to now. There's a whole lot more legislators who believe in medical freedom. Normally, one need not worry about the performance artists of voter exploitation. While they make for great talk show guests, they're usually consigned to the back benches of the halls of reality to bleat and bicker. Nature draws a strict correlation between the shrill and the incompetent. Though President Trump has convinced 72% of Republicans that the election was stolen, he compiled a 1 in 55 court record proving his case. These are the Cincinnati Bengals of public policy. The problem is that Trump has assigned states to direct the COVID vaccine rollout. Though Governor Mike DeWine has attempted to keep Ohio safe from the plague, he's faced insurgency from his own party, which has threatened his health director and fought masks and distancing at every turn. In the eyes of the Ohio GOP, freedom The Narcissist Edition means not just endangering oneself, it means trying to kill everyone around you. This is not hyperbole. The University of Oxford compared states with the least COVID restrictions, freedom, to those with the tightest, those who hate freedom. The state with the highest positivity rates are a fashion show for the forces of liberty. Ohio ranks 9th. Soon, the great minds of Columbus will decide who gets the vaccine and who can opt out for reasons of conscience, i.e., Jesus wants me to kill grandma, or fear of science. My customer should be honored to die for my rights. If the past 9 months are any indication, that likely means Ohio's next pandemic won't be a virus. It'll be a plague wrought by tennis coaches and mattress salesmen who believe we should go on killing each other. If only they can play the starlets of freedom. That was incredibly well written. Pete Coates, I'm gonna have to go find your ass on Twitter. That was fantastic, sir.
The message was depressing.
The message itself very depressing, and of course, currently
some are fine neighbors.
Currently, they are indeed vaccinating healthcare workers and the elderly in the great state of Ohio, and may that continue forth. Without these people, who I don't even know what to fucking say no more. Who fucking elects these? Well, I know who elects these people because that's what they do. Good Lord. This was a fun one because I always try to wrap up with a fun story, a little lighter story. It's from the good people over the New York Times. We asked, why does Oreo keep releasing new flavors?
Fuck this.
The brand strategy is stunning in its simplicity. This is by John Ingle Browmwich of the New York Times. The team of people who come up with limited edition Oreo flavors and collaborations is a half dozen strong and extremely secretive. Their privacy is so tightly guarded, said Justin Parnell, the senior director of the Oreo brand, that he could not even reveal the team's name. But their efforts are made public every time Oreo announces a new variety. The latest, a salmon-colored cookie with malachite green filling, released with Lady Gaga in honor of her 2020 album, Chromatica. Their job is really how do we continue to excite our fans and drive growth through flavor innovation, Mr. Parnell said.
Flavor innovation. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah, that's got a tone to it.
Although that Lady Gaga one doesn't sound like flavor innovation, it's just color innovation.
I mean, Chromatica is indeed about color, so. Since releasing the birthday cake Oreo in 2012 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of its signature cookie, Oreo has introduced 65 flavors, including in the last 3 years alone, hot chicken wing Oreos, wasabi Oreos, crispy tiramisu Oreos. Believe me, we had those Oreos. They were definitely not called crispy tiramisu. Unsure where this guy got that from. And carrot cake Oreos. Certain flavors are only available in specific markets. The wasabi and hot chicken Oreos were released in China.
That explains it.
That's why
Sidebar. I'm going to quickly sidebar this particular conversation. They have been trying to get the Oreo brand to fucking get its hooks into the Asian market for years now because they just don't fuck with Oreos over there. So they was like, fuck it, let's try this. But they were still chocolate-ass Oreos with wasabi cream and or hot chicken wing flavored cream. What was that gonna do? And that's not the look, people. Oh no.
Speaking of disgusting treats, I retried one of those candy corns the other day, and I got a gravy one. Wasn't that bad. The gravy one by itself is the first one that I'd had in weeks. Wasn't that bad.
Fair enough. Let me keep rolling here. Over the years, there have been blueberry pie Oreos, waffle and syrup Oreos, jelly donut Oreos, Mississippi mud pie Oreos, key lime Oreos, pina colada Oreo thins, banana split Oreos, PB&J Oreos, root beer floats, Neapolitan, Peeps, and mystery Oreos, which were eventually revealed to be churro flavored.
We guessed it.
Yeah, we kind of crushed it. Novelty Oreos sell reasonably well. This podcast probably responsible for a good chunk of that sell. According to Nielsen, sales of flavored, seasonal, and other novelty Oreos were up 12% over the last 3 years. But the sales are not the point. Novelty Oreos, according to Mr. Parnell, play a much purer role. They help drive consumers back to Milk's alleged favorite, the 108-year-old paternal familias, the plain old Oreo.
Did he just call it the original?
No, he didn't. No, in no situation I say original.
All right.
The 108-year-old paterfamilias, the plain old Oreo. In other words, the new flavors function as advertisements for the original. And it seems to work. In the time that sales were up 12% for novelty Oreos, sales for classic Oreos were up almost 22%, according to Nielsen. When we do it well, it drives our classic Oreo cookie as well as sales of the limited edition, Mr. Parnell said, of novelty flavors. Many consumers, he said, will pick up the classic Oreo variety that they love, whether it's the original, golden, or double stuff, in addition to the limited edition. Certain flavors, including golden, have transcended novelty to become permanent additions to the Oreo pantheon. Many snack foods, including Oreo, have thrived during the pandemic. The consumer deal with the stress and boredom of isolation, as consumers deal with the stress and boredom of isolation. Definitely, snacking has been one of the stories of COVID, said Darren Seifer, a food and beverage industry analyst at the NPD Group. Not just any old snack foods, but we saw a shift to more of an indulgent snacking, a shift away from healthier or better type for you foods. Mr. Seifer said the well-established brands were performing particularly well as consumers were staying within their comfort zones. And Oreo are nothing if not well-established. Now, part of the bigger snack company Mondelez International, Oreos hit the market in 1912 as part of the National Biscuit Co., later shortened to Nabisco, part of a package of 3 cookies known as the Trio. The other 2 cookies, a hard cookie called the Veronese Biscuit and a nursery rhyme themed cookie called the Mother Goose Biscuit, did not withstand the test of time. Oreo went on to become the best-selling cookie in the world. Today, Oreo's innovations dream team includes marketers, product developers, researchers, and food scientists. Mr. Parnell said the team begins each new Oreo ideation period with a suite of 50 flavor options and narrows them down to about a dozen. New flavors are conceived 18 to 24 months before release. Often, Mr. Parnell said the team works with chefs to understand what is trending. Frequently, the biggest releases don't focus on new flavors. This year, one of the most important branding opportunities for the company included Oreo's collaboration with Supreme, the streetwear brand that all but invented unexpected head-turning collaborations. The flavor was regular. The ratio of cookie to filling was double stuff. This year also welcomed a regular flavor triple stuff Oreo with tricolor filling, released with the U.S. Olympic teams, continuing a long tradition of collaborative branding between athletes and consumer packaged goods. Finally, there was the announcement of Lady Gaga's Chromatica Oreos, which will be in stores starting in January. Given Lady Gaga's history of Rococo? R-O-C-O-C-O. Rococo? Okay. Rococo outfits and high camp anthems, fans might have expected the Oreo flavor to be Outre? O-U-T-R-E with a little accent over the E. But while the colors are eye-catching, the flavor is familiar. The Oreos are standard golden, which is to say, vanilla. That is definitely within our wheelhouse. So I thought that story was fun and an interesting little tale of the special Oreo game. As I read that article, I think we've only missed a few.
What did we miss?
Banana Split, but that was before I think we was even doing the goddamn show. Or just outright just missed it.
Yeah, I don't remember peanut butter.
We definitely got peanut butter jelly. I got it from Kroger out in Sandusky. They were amazing, which is weird because I don't fuck with fruit. But them shits was the banger. So man, we had
I wish we had kept like the packaging of each one.
And mentioned.
No, go ahead.
No, like I mentioned a couple episodes ago, we should have kept a catalog and kept a couple in the freezer for every one we had.
Yeah, and we tried to take pictures of all them. So between Anthony and I, we should have at least pictures of everything. Assuming,
like, I'm not really a scrapbook guy, but like just grabbing like the cellophane wrapper off of it and putting it into a picture album wouldn't have been that bad. You know?
Yeah. It's kind of one of the things we do here. You know what I'm saying? We like that's a part of our our brand, and people, like I said, whenever new Oreos show up and people see them, they hit me up and they hit me up and say, have you seen these? Or
are these real?
Are these real? What do these taste like? Or they send me the fake. Constantly, any fake Oreo that's in the internet, I have seen multiple times over before you sent it to me. Trust.
Any fake ones that you said, gee, I wish they'd make that?
No, because they're always just terrible because people think they're funny, and they're simply not.
Well, one recently that I think was interesting was the animal cracker.
God, that's the one I wish they'd make that.
That's what I'm talking about. I just asked you that.
You said what people send me. That's a whole different thing. That's from one of those snack sites we follow on IG, and they constantly say like if you'll see
this isn't real,
but they don't. I feel like they don't give you that. This ain't real, quick and big enough. So you see it, you be like, oh, you motherfucker.
I want to know where those people get that information because, like, the one lady I've read through some of her Instagram stories, and she's like a food scientist for like a manufacturer on like her actual job. So it's like, how does she find out the release schedules for all these other companies?
But she probably just connects in the business. You know what I'm saying? If that's what she does, if she's a food scientist, she might just have the plug. But
I remember when, like, I found out Crystal Pepsi was coming back because my buddy who owns a convenience store saw it on his order list, like, a couple months before it was dropping. Yeah. But, like, it's not like he has, like, an Oreo Connect.
I knew about Red Velvet Oreos probably a full year before they came out. They had sent out test packets. And again, that had just made its way to some circles I travel in on the internet.
I knew about the KFC Famous Bowl before it was released because back in like 2003, I was dipping my toe in internet surveys. And it was one of those, don't tell anyone that you saw this on here or we'll sue your bitch ass. So I had to sign one of those, e-sign one of those NDAs. Statute of limitations is probably over by now. The Famous Bowl's out.
It's on the shelf, technically, the shelf.
But it was like, they were like, would you eat a bowl full of all the things we have at KFC? And I'm like, fuck yeah, because I do that at home already.
Like, all you've done is make it easier. Thank you.
And dude, I used to do surveys for a company, and they'd send me test products, and then I'd have to go online and like fill out a questionnaire about the shit they sent me. And like, I get paid for that shit.
Mall surveys at Tower City. They stand over there kind of where GameStop's at right now. And like then they take you around the corner back to kind of where I guess where Susie's is at right now. And there used to be a little office back there you go into and you'd either sit and watch a video or snack on some things or whatever. It was always a delight. So
I just did one for something College of Chicago or something like that, Nord or something. They like mailed me during the like election process, like through the preliminaries and all that shit, and they're like, we'll send you $5 if you go online and fill out the survey. I was like, well, fuck it, I got time. So like I went online, I filled out their little survey. A couple weeks later, they mailed me $5, and they were like, hey, if you want. If you agree for us to do like 4 more surveys, every time that you like complete one of our surveys, we'll send you $5, and if you complete all 4 at the end, we'll send you $20. And I was like, sure, you can ask me every couple of weeks if I'm going to vote for Biden or not. So I just filled out the $20 one like 3 days ago, so I'm waiting on my $20. Because the thing is, like, they don't send you like a gift card or whatever. They literally mailed me a $5 bill in the mail. Like, Big Brother don't know about it.
But the Christmas $5 bill you ever got in your life, right? Like, that shit is like bank. Like, you could probably cut yourself if you wasn't careful on that motherfucker.
Like, it showed up the other day in an envelope that like was like barely still sealed. So I was just thankful that my $5 was still in there.
I did like a Nielsen one or some years back, and they sent me 5 singles. But them hoes, like I said, was printer fresh Christmas singles. Damn, homie.
So that's how they set for like the fake.
Like, I didn't even know these days. I didn't know a dollar could beat us, Chris. You iron these motherfuckers. So, but we shall proceed and continue, man. And what's popping with you, brother?
A lot of stuff. A lot of different things. Am I willing to talk about them all? I don't know.
That which you will share, please.
So, like, I've been watching a lot of documentaries. Of course, I've been cooking a lot because, you know, I don't trust a man. What else has been going on? I really, really, really hate wrapping Christmas presents.
I hate
Oh,
that
it's
too.
one of the things I hate doing the most. That's why I don't do it.
How is that a thing? How, Sway? God, it's like I truly love wrapping gifts. It is one of those things. Like I said, I have not been in my Christmas zone this year in the least. I really am like kind of being a big baby about it. I barely got the tree up. I truly only had the tree up the other
you
day.
didn't get the tree up. The kids got the tree up.
I mean, I had them do it because they was like, "We ain't gonna do it." So I was like, "Just go give me the goddamn tree." Like I said, we got to at least do that. And that kind of is getting me in it. But wrapping gifts has been my shit since I met the kid's mom back in the day. Like our first Christmas together, because I remember going to, at that point in time, you go to Palmertown when it was still a functioning mall. And the old ladies would wrap anything you bought in that mall, you could take it to them and they would wrap it for you. And I would watch.
Yeah, they used to do that in Tower City too.
I would watch them with rapt attention to because I was like, it was like, this is fucking amazing. They have these, you know what I'm saying, these selections and they tear it off clean. And I'd watch them do it. It's like, that's amazing. Because they were so good at it. And I said, I can wrap a gift with the fucking best of them now because of that shit.
Dude, last year when I was watching a lot of YouTube, North Olmsted Mall, they ran an ad like every fucking video I watched with like two old ladies like in the mall like wrapping their shit. Like, oh, buy shit here, you can wrap it for free at North Olmsted Mall. So it's like that shit still goes down. You know, well, COVID maybe not this year, but
But you know, the most recent Christmas I did.
Come wrap your COVID.
So I fuck with wrapping Christmas presents. I'm sorry that you do not.
I think wrapping gifts is enjoyable for the person who wraps them. It's not really like a kid gets excited not knowing what's in the package, but they don't really give a fuck about the paper. The paper's just in the way. And then the parent has to clean it up. So you as a parent have to enjoy the process of wrapping the gift and the enjoyment that the kid will have not knowing what's in the box. As someone who doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff, wrapping gifts for me is a waste of money because paper is expensive if you buy it on season and not after the season. And then I don't want to waste the time wrapping up a bunch of shit. Like, I was actually thinking about giving you your gift in the FedEx box it came in.
Well, we're adults. I mean, I guess that's acceptable, but like, I do have kids, and my partner's birthday is the day before Christmas, so I had to wrap her birthday gifts. Then,
man, gift bags was the greatest thing invented.
No, she lives here. I mean,
well, no, I'm talking about like for your kids.
So it's funny. Like, I shouldn't talk too loud because Anthony will wake up and he will come down here like, "Hey man, I heard what you said about the Christmas gift." So let me try to keep it down. But like, it's funny. Like, one of his gifts has just been. I guess this is kind of how good they are. One of his gifts, the biggest one they have, is just been just been under a blanket for the past 2 months in the back bedroom. All they got to do is rip the blanket down, and they would have.
My parents used to do that shit too, where like they'd get like something like, say like one year they bought like my little brother a Power Wheels. Mm-hmm. It like they didn't want to like, you know, put it together and shit obviously before Christmas, so they would wrap it. Like they'd bring it home when we weren't around. They'd wrap it. Then they'd throw it in a corner and put a blanket over it and threaten us all to not fucking move the blanket.
Yeah, I haven't had to threaten them or nothing. It's just been something, a big ass. I would just think like, I know, why aren't they wondering what that is? It's just a big ass thing in a corner, wrapped in a beige blanket. They ain't said no, it's like, hey Dad, what's that over there?
Maybe you impressed upon them snitches get stitches, and they're not willing to stick their noses where they don't belong.
We're just now to the point where, because, you know, it's not much talent that goes along. We have somebody around here called Mo, and he don't play no shit. Like, he don't talk with his mouth. He talk with his hands. So ain't too much snitching going on around here between them two. And it's just mostly like Anthony's like, okay, Emery, okay, and then he'll just go to his room. Emery rules with an iron fist. Ain't no snitching. But yeah, that's kind of weird. I wonder why they ain't asked about that. Like, they need to do better. But
I mean, last year, man, I used giant eagle bags.
was it the good paper ones?
No, just blue plastic. I recycled a couple of gift ones that I'd gotten probably from like you guys and like some random ass shit. Like I even think I used the one that T sent me, like that, like my computer mouse came in from Amazon. Like I tore the tag off of it and I recycled that bitch.
Well, like you were saying, I do get like my mom is all like pretty much almost every year gets me a Target gift card, or I usually get a Target gift card for Christmas.
Yeah, they come in they usually buy like the little holders and shit, right? That you can just reuse.
No, but like that's when I get my wrapping paper every year. Or
what I meant was like when you get a gift card from somebody, they either come in an envelope or some people ball out and they buy like the fancy gift card holders for a couple bucks.
Ain't nobody ever did that for me. No, I've never got like a. I think
like a little mint tin and shit like that.
One time, my girlfriend got me a Target gift card, and it was like a thick rubber game remote. Like that was really nice, and I kept that as a keepsake after I spent the gift card. But other than that, like I've never had like, oh, this came in a gift card tin with a bow on it, and the bow is inserted in the gift tin, and you just lift the tin, and it's like a paper that lifts up the gift card.
My problem with that whole situation is that gift cards were made so that people didn't have to try and put all that mental effort into trying to decide what to get someone for the holidays or a birthday or whatever. But then some asshole had to go, oh, getting someone a gift card is not good enough. We got to put a little more oomph and effort into it. Let's go and make it so that they have to buy these expensive-ass, worthless-ass gift card holders on top of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, the two things about that is, like, some people do get offended. I'm not one of them. And I'm glad to say I don't know anybody who's like this. Get offended when you just get them a gift card. But then, the plus side about that is, the day after Christmas, or 2 weeks after Christmas, when everybody done picked over the good shit that's on sale, those gift card holders be 10 cents. It's like, I can get him a gift card holder, and it look like I put some effort into this shit.
Yeah, I bought Christmas wrapping paper after Christmas last year. Like the grocery store had rolls for like $1 or something like that, and so I bought like a couple of them, and they're in like the back closet in case I ever need them. Like maybe someday, I find myself in a situation where I'm with someone and they threaten to leave me if I don't wrap their gifts. Like. I have it in the closet now. I paid $4 for it. I got probably 4 years worth of wrapping paper for $4.
You break up with that person, they threaten that shit.
Breaking
like,
point.
bitch, get on, get the fuck out. I've never wrapped your shit.
You talking to me or Anthony?
No, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I wrap gifts. I'm already in a position I can't get out of. Or like you could be in one of those situations in those scary movies where you need to use the wrapping paper to keep your house dark away from the monsters, and you already got some paper.
That too, yeah. No, they might come through the leak in the ceiling now.
They might, yeah. But this weekend, my boys are going over to my mom's house. We've been quarantining. In the house, and I haven't seen my mother in about 2 or 3 months. So that's a treat for me because I get to see my mother and they get to see my mom. And they'll be over there for I guess a day and a half, and it's time to get busy.
It's funny, like my mom and stepdad called me on the phone for the first time in months, like a week or two
about
ago.
Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and like I ain't seen them all year, and they didn't seem to care. Well, like my stepdad stopped over here like 2 or 3 times throughout the year, but I ain't seen my mom all year. And, like, she didn't really seem to care. I think once, like, she got that grandchild, the rest of us don't mean shit no more. Speaking of that, my brother actually messaged me today. Like, the one who had the kid. And he's like, hey, I miss you. We haven't talked in a long time. He's like, I love you. And I was like,
do you?
I was like, what's up? I hear you had a kid. And then he sent me a couple pictures. I said something, and then he didn't reply anymore.
He's like, that's enough.
What is y'all rules for? I mean, look, we text each other, so it's kind of whatever. We don't really have it. But do you have a general rule for when texting? Do you have okay, I'm not going to text you anymore kind of back out text to wrap a conversation up? Or do you just stop cold?
I just stop. I don't have, like, any rules.
I mean, I think it depends. Like, with you guys, sometimes it's like, I look at it and I go, is this something I need to reply to or not? But the conversation is never going to end because it's four people. So it's like at any given moment, someone can say something. I'll be honest, I don't do a lot of texting. Like, as far as like text. I'm in a couple of group chats on social media apps, but I don't do a lot of solo texting. So, like, for me, it's just, is the last statement something that needs a reply or not? You know, it comes down to that. Like, I don't have any, like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. What's something I could send you that gets you to leave me alone? You know?
Yeah, I thought you were the king of just GIFs. Like, I'm just going to send this.
I mean, you know, that was something that I did a lot of in the past.
You reformed now?
Not so much lately. Like, now they're just kind of funny depending on what we're talking about, but, you know, I'm not so evasive with them.
You're a reformed GIFer? Like, you go to meetings and stuff?
I would say altered.
Altered? You only GIF socially now? Like, you know, I can't GIF alone. And
like I'm mature is probably the good way of saying it. I'm a mature GIFer.
Now, back in the day, I would have sent that Homer back into the bushes. I'm going to actually say, nah, that's not for me.
I mean,
I think it would depend on who I'm talking to. Like, if I'm, like, flirting with someone, I would use the GIF. If I'm just talking to somebody, like, say a buddy, and I don't want to do something, then I'd just be like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
Now, before, when she sent them titties, I would have sent that wolf GIF. But I'm going to say, ooh, I like it.
I probably would have used a chef's kiss GIF, but, you know, your point stands.
I don't know. That horny wolf is just one of the best things in my... I love that one. Another one...
I actually did a GIF purge the other day.
Oh, no.
Like, a lot of the GIFs that I was using during my my flirtation period, like a month and a half ago, that I don't need anymore.
Oh, no.
Like,
no.
Oh, no, what?
That's over? You're not doing that no more?
Oh, yeah, like, we ain't texted each other in, like, 6 weeks.
Oh, no.
Like, you know, the Hocus Pocus thing came up, and, like, I kind of got the sense that she was irritated that I didn't tell her that I was planning on watching it when I, like, texted her that, like, 15 minutes before it aired that I had ordered it, because I knew she had ordered it at her house and she was going to watch it with her daughter. And, you know, we texted, like, during that, and then, like, we didn't text each other the rest of that weekend. And, like, I went to the Browns game on Sunday. Monday, I was a little, like, under the weather because the Browns game, like, was in the fucking freezing cold. So, like, I texted her, like, late on Monday, and I was like, oh, shit, I was at the Browns game yesterday. It was real bad. And she replied, like, once or twice, and then she never answered my last text, and we never talked again after that.
So, pretty much, she was like, you had the nerve to go to a Browns game but won't come see me type shit?
That's the impression I took from it all. Because, like, we never actually, like, went out with each other. Like, because, like, we were both in quarantine for a long time. And, like, she had dropped hints a couple times about, like, you know, are you funny in person? This, that, and the other.
Oh, man.
And, like, we danced around it because it's like...
You didn't dance around it. You Deion Sanders around that shit.
Oh, I did. I know. But, like, part of it was because, like, I knew I had been going out in public in, like, other states and the stadiums and shit at that point. And it's like, I didn't like. I was okay with putting myself in danger, but I wasn't gonna put a stranger and their daughter in danger. So like, I felt like if we were just cool talking for a while longer, you know, maybe shit would get better, or like I'd quarantine for a while, and like, you know, maybe like I'd find the nerve to get out of my depression funk and like go meet her. But then I think at that point, like, she had had enough, and she's just like, fuck this, and she decided not to reply anymore. And like, that's fine. Like, I'm not beat up about it. I'm cool.
But I could have sworn,
like the situation, like the timing, just it is what it is.
I could have sworn Dr. Fauci said doggy style is on the approved list for COVID.
I mean, like, as long as you wipe down their back when you're done with a disinfectant.
Dr. Fauci said that's not approved. It's a get in and get out type of situation. Oh, that Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, like the whole situation, you know, it was fun talking to somebody, but like, I mean, like, I try to hide it as best I can and like live a normal day, but like, shit ain't been great the last year. Like, I'm not doing well. Like, when people ask me how I'm doing, of course I give the normal canned, oh, I'm fine, but no one's fine. And so it's like, I'm really not ready to date at this fucking moment because I'm fucking miserable and I'm just burying it.
It's a terrible time to try to date. The fact you could talk to somebody for a little bit is fine. This is not a time to go fucking around and dating. The fact you are dating during this shit is insane to me. So,
yeah, dude, like I don't think I told you guys. Like the last Browns game I went to. Let's see, it would have been. Let's see, they played the Titans, they played the Ravens, they played the Jack. Oh, so it was a month ago. It was 4 games ago. I went to the game with my buddies, like they had tickets, and they had an extra ticket like 20 minutes before kickoff because it was like a fucking rainstorm. Like, I wore a poncho that game, and I've never worn a poncho in my entire life. You own
the ponchos, right on. Anthony got.
I own a poncho
Anthony
because
that poncho.
I own.
Oh
no, he didn't. That poncho was gifted to me by my buddy who owns the convenience store when we went to the Steelers-Browns game in Pittsburgh last year, and I didn't even wear it then. I kept it in my pocket. But like it stopped raining before kickoff then, so I didn't need it. But it's been in my car for the last year, so I actually used it that day. And so it was like 20 minutes before kickoff, and we hadn't even fucking left his house yet. And he ended up offering the ticket to some random chick from Tinder who agreed. So it's like, we went to the game, like me and the two of them, like my two buddies. And then she showed up sometime during the first quarter, so he had to go down and let her in.
That's right.
Because he didn't have her in. Sure. So it's like, we all watched the game, whatever. And then after the game, we walked back to my car. Like, he's the type of person at this point in his life where he's struggling with mental illness, I would say. Not like depression and whatnot. He goes to therapy and whatnot. I'm not trying to put his business out there, but he's going through help right now, and he's trying to get through shit. And so it's like, I think part of it is he's the person who like doesn't want all his friends to go like back to their houses, so he tries to keep the party going. And I was fucking wet and wanted to go home, and my other buddy was wet and wanted to go home. But he was trying to convince us to go out with this chick he just met to, like, drink. And we were both like, nah, son. Like, he convinced our other buddy to go and his fiance to meet up with them. So I was like, I'll drop you guys off, and then I'm going home. So we walked back to my car, which was parked in the parking garage on Lakeside, like by Lakeside and 9th. And, like, we get in my car, and she's, like, taking her mask off and, like, spouting some shit off about, like, fuck masks and all this, that, and the other. And I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch right now that you, like, got gallivanting up in my back seat talking about fuck masks, I don't like wearing a mask, this, that, and the other. I'm like, who is this bitch? Now, the two people I'm with, granted, they don't give a fuck about masks either, but they wear them because, like, they don't really. The one had COVID already, and the other one probably had it. Well, the one's a doctor. Like he's like works for the clinic, and like he had it back in like July, and then the other one has done so much shit that I'd be honestly shocked if he didn't already have had it one time. But like I was just like, when she started saying that shit, I was like, am I gonna have to kick this bitch out of my car? But thankfully, I only had to take them like 2 blocks, so I only had to put up with her ass for a minute. But I was just like, that's not how you like get into someone's car that you don't know and just start spouting off some radical shit. Like, masks are divisive topics these days. That. Like, you almost, it's like calling me the N-word.
I'll allow it.
I'm not mad about anything.
Just like that's just like Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. Just allow that. That was a perfectly allowable in a racial situation. That was the right call right there. Good job, Daniel.
It was really a shocking thing to just start spouting out randomly my backseat.
On the real, any person who would just like, fucking, I'll go on a Tinder date in the middle of this bullshit. It's the type of person who would be like, I'm not wearing a mask.
Well, like, I guess the point I was trying to make with all that is, like, that happened that day, but he's been, like, doing this shit steadily for the last few months. Like, they're just, like, people don't care. Like, I know, like, you read that article earlier, and, like, it really comes down to, like, the reality is most people aren't affected in such a drastic way, so at the end of the day, they just don't give a shit. And, like, I'm not sitting here saying that I think they should. Like, I really, like, I'm at the point where, like, I'm not preaching to anybody anymore. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'd be hypocritical if I did. I went to Browns games 4 weeks in a row. Like, I'm not going to sit here on my high horse and, like, tell people what to do. Like, it is what it is. But, like, I wore a mask and, like, I'm not going around fucking around. Like, I honestly thought for a couple days there I might have had it. I wasn't doing so hot. But, like, ultimately, I think it might have just been allergies because it was, like, gone within, like, 3 days. But, it was bad. Like, if it was allergies, it was the worst case allergies I ever had.
Was your nose running a lot?
No, it was, couldn't really breathe while walking. Like, imagine, like, walking from Brown Stadium to Lakeside, and you can't walk a couple feet because you can't draw air into your lungs.
If you, probably, like, one of the self-tests for yourself is, if you can't hold your breath for more than 20 seconds, you probably had COVID.
I didn't know that, so I didn't test that. But at that time, I probably couldn't have done it because I was real tired for about a week, and the heavy breathing stuff was only noticeable when I was trying to walk long distances, which I could only tell when I was out in public, which doesn't happen very often because I'm in the house pretty much every fucking day. I didn't have a fever or anything like that, so that's why I was like thinking maybe allergies because the weather was really bad. But let's just say that, like, it was different enough than anything I've ever experienced before to cause mental alarm for myself. Because what I described to my buddy who's a doctor who had COVID, what he said to me was, that's pretty much the exact same thing that happened to me.
Good Lord. There's actually, like, a body of, like, 9 symptoms that you basically got to be hitting most of them for it to be the deal that you to even lift a concern, you know what I'm saying? So, plus, like I said, I didn't say this, but as I am saying, in most situations you are masked up, you're doing your 6, you're doing what you're supposed to do. I think you're okay, and indeed, it doesn't seem like you had COVID, or if you did, you had a mild case of COVID. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I just felt like at that point, because it was the 4th week of me having gone in public to Browns games, so just the sheer amount of people I had been around at that point, I felt like it was completely plausible that it could have been a mild case of COVID. And if so, it is what it is, you know? But I didn't go get tested or anything like that, you know?
They still don't really let us do testing here in Ohio. Like, you know, so where we in California, everybody can get tested for free. They have testing centers all up and down, throughout all of California. You just, whenever you're up to it, just go drive, go get yourself tested. That's what you can do.
We can get tested now for free through work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Where?
They sent us an email the other day with instructions on how to order a test kit to the house.
You an email. I ain't see that email. You see that email yet? No. Nope. They sent you an email, my name.
Oh, well, I think I saved it. I can give it to you guys if you want.
But,
yeah, you can order it for you and your dependents, I believe.
I mean, I'm not worried about it, but it's good to know it's there in case, you know what I'm saying, in case it's needed. So.
Yeah. It was like 2 different variations. It was like a saliva variation and then a nose swab variation.
Oh, man. It's wild out here. I don't know. Gabe, what's going on with you, brother?
Not a whole lot. I'm back to working at home for most of the week. I go into work once a week. It's nice, more focused at home, since I got like my little area away from the rest of the family. And it's nice to kind of roll out of bed and then roll into work.
Are they allowing you to work inside the house, or are they forcing you into the garage?
I'm allowed to work inside the house. I just can't say anything like, stop making that mess and stop tearing up the house. You know. Stop with the, I gotta mind my own business.
Am I an asshole because I parent my children during work hours?
When you're a stay-at-home mom and you're used to doing it your way for like 10 hours a day, I guess the additional parent can be the disruption, you know? Especially if you mess with the flow of the day. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess with anybody's flow.
It's funny, like when my partner's on the phone or like on a video chat, like it's funny. They're like, "Oh, you have it so hard. Like you got the boys there with him." Like she ain't the only one here.
That's basically the point I was making earlier when everybody and their mom was like, "Oh, I'll come and bring you soup." It's like, nigga, you know I know how to cook. You know I got a job and can just order food. Thank you, but not really. It's like
you're just a big dumb male that doesn't know how to take care of himself.
That has been my experience for too long, and I'm just like, I mean, y'all must have forgot.
Yeah, but I do be forgetting like other dudes ain't shit though.
That's cool because like, I am shit. I am the shit. I'm very good at what I do and how I do it.
That was one of the things about like talking to that woman when like I was like telling her shit that I can do, and she's like, "You bake? You can cook steak.
You know how to do laundry.
You know how to do laundry?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking." Just I mean, like that wasn't one that came up, but like the general idea of like you're a self-sufficient man. What's wrong with you is like kind of like what comes up. It's like there's got to be a catch, right? Like yeah, the catch is I have low self-esteem from years of being overweight. That's the catch. If you can put up with that shit, then I'm a catch.
Yeah, I was shockingly raised by a single mother, so I know how to do a lot of shit because I was a latchkey kid. Yeah, sorry, and I got.
Yeah, I've been feeding myself since I was like 7.
I carry a lot of that trauma with me till this very day. So I mean, you know, if you want to fuck with that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can have something. Yeah.
Some self-deprecating sarcasms, which I'll have to put up with for probably about maybe 20 to 30 years, depending on how my health plays out over the next couple decades.
Let's talk about that for a second. What's the idea that men are just so incapable with everything that's traditionally women? Like the way people would talk about me when we first had kids, it made it sound like I was gonna like fumble the baby every chance I get. Like the sting in my hand, I don't know how to hold it, and just throw it out the window because I'm just so dumb and male.
Yeah, but what's crazy is I went to a parenting class, like just to see how it was before I had the boys, and dumb dudes was dumb as fuck.
Word.
It was crazy.
Embarrassingly
the
so.
Dudes were like, and these were like professional males. Like I do this and I do this, and like was shook to hold a baby. Like they, like a guy who graduated from the previous class, like he brought in this child. I don't know why that dude did that shit, but he did, and they were just like, "I never held the baby. No, I'm not going to be doing it. I'm not going to hold the baby. I'm just not." I was just like, it made me really feel secure as a person to see how bad these other dudes were. Like they were terrible.
I think they just don't realize that, like, babies are delicate, but they got a little bit of give to them. Like, you can move them around, it ain't gonna break right away. Like, you got a little bit of play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're not gonna have the neck 100% of the time. Like, there's gonna be a couple times in a shift where the neck gets a little bobblehead to it. Like, but you get it back in line. Like, it's gotta bobble for a long time before you hear the snap.
Oh.
My kids had
I hear.
It is very interesting to be a bit of a renaissance man in this day and age because, like I said, the thing is, like I said, it's so many fuck ups that by comparison, like we stand out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like gainfully employed for years on end. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, relatively well taken care of in our situations. You know what I'm saying? It's like when there's so many other people who are just like sucking are very bad at it. I don't know, man. It's just. I guess it's okay to be. It's not okay. I don't like being judged in a way that's like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. It's like, actually know what I'm doing, and I probably know what I'm doing better than. And like, I'm not. I mean, no disrespect to my, Vanessa, I love her to death. But the reality of it is my child, my oldest child is 17 years old. My younger child is 13 years old, and I've been with them their entire existence. I know what I'm doing better than she ever will know what she's doing. She'll never be able to beat me on time with my children. I'll always be ahead by X amount of years. The math just always will play out that.
It's funny because I tend to judge people on their race and not their gender. And by that I mean like Asian people, terrible drivers. Black dudes, huge dick. I don't go like, oh, woman can't lift that bag. Like, like I don't do shit like that. And like, I don't get racial. Like I hate people because of something that I assume that they may or may not do, I'm just saying it's like, I've been in cars with Asian drivers. I've been around some pretty bad ones, like I just assume every black dude has a huge dick, and that may or may not be true. I don't know. I have. It was one of my favorite of the Fast and Furious franchise.
I've never heard anyone say that. No one likes Tokyo Drift.
I liked it because it was kind of like its own standalone story.
That story fucks up the story of the Fast and Furious franchise because
because they had to fucking like go and fit that motherfucker back in. Like they kill him off and then they bring him back like 4 movies later.
After that technically happened before that. So like they should be all on flip phones still. Everything about that shit fucked up.
Nobody knew flip phones weren't going to be a thing anymore. And that's funny, like, I was just talking about Vin Diesel earlier because we're going to watch the Iron Giant tomorrow.
What?
There you go.
Iron Giant?
I never really got the appeal of that movie.
There's no...
Like, we would watch it occasionally when I was a kid, and like, maybe I need to watch it with adult eyes because as a kid, I didn't fucking get it. To me, it was boring.
Well, the only reason we're going to watch it is because my son asked me to buy my Iron Giant toy. I was like, nah, but we'll watch the movie.
Why'd you say nah to that?
Well, to buy him a toy? Because I bought him toys already, and he going to have them in a week.
You know how hard right now it would be to find an Iron Giant in the original packaging? That shit came out like the late 90s.
No, it was the anniversary toys that came out, and they were a Walmart exclusive.
Oh, they had an anniversary?
Yeah.
Shit.
I own like...
See, the Iron Giant is way more popular than I realized.
I own the collector's edition of the Blu-ray. It's like a beautiful box set. It's gorgeous. It's in the cabinet right behind
I enjoyed it. It was heartwarming.
I'll have to see. Like, I haven't watched it in a long time. And my oldest son, when shit get real, he'll cry in the movie. He's really really an empath when it comes to that kind of stuff.
My son...
So we'll see how it goes.
My oldest son has to leave the room for like awkward and embarrassing moments. Like he'll run out the room. He can't take it.
Same. It's empathy. He's an empath. He can feel that they should be embarrassed for them goddamn selves, and I like that in him. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like in American Pie when Finch had the laxatives put into his drink by Stifler, and he had to go shit in the women's bathroom. I felt that shit in my soul.
But yeah,
when he walks out of that bathroom and he feels like he got away with it, and he's in the free and clear, and everyone's just staring at him. I felt that.
Oh shit, man.
But yeah, I still love watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. I can't watch every episode.
I love using Curb Your Enthusiasm GIFs.
Man, I just thought it's
pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. I forgot about something I'm sad about this week. I'm trying to force it down, but I've been watching so much other stuff. I mean, The Office is leaving Netflix at the end of the month.
That's going to HBO though?
Oh, I didn't know where it was going. I guess I'm really here. But yeah, that still kind of sucks though. But I can't watch Scott Tots. I can't watch that episode. I could watch any other episode, but I will not watch Scott's Tots.
I like that.
It's a hard one to
I
get
like
through.
that even still all these years later, that one still gets in you.
I mean, they black kids, man. Come on.
Right?
The one episode was full of black people and they get fucked.
Oh man.
Yeah, they really did not treat black people well in that show. One went to prison. One had a heart attack.
Yeah, NBC.
Didn't Craig Robinson get a promotion?
He did get a promotion. That's true.
But the way they played it, like NBC is just notorious for not treating people good at all.
Did you read the article I sent you guys last night? It's this very topic. Did you guys just see the tweet, saw it was a lot of words, and did not click on it?
What tweet did you send?
I sent it to the tweet chat last night around like 10:30. Since none of y'all apparently read it, I'll give you the rundown.
Okay.
So
break it down.
Was about break it down.
It was about the heroes.
The heroes. The guy from Heroes. He was the black dude in Drumline with Nick Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
He was on that show, and he was in the first season. He was married to Ali Larter in the show.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically saying that he was fired from Heroes because Ali Larter felt that being in an interracial couple with him on the show was dragging her brand down, so she complained and had him removed from the show. The article chronicles his whole like experience on the show, where like he was supposed to be in the premiere episode, and then they didn't write him in until episode 6 because they didn't know what to do with him. Apparently, that's like the claim that they didn't know how they were going to fit him in right away. Then they decided to make him an interracial marriage with Ali Larter, and then apparently they were supposed to shoot a scene where him and her are in bed together, and like he has no shirt on, so it's like you give the impression that he's nude because all you see is just his upper body. So the director apparently asked her to lower the straps of her shirt down from off her shoulders so it looked kind of like she was similar to him, but she refused to do it, and she tried to make him feel like it like just wasn't needed for the scene. But then he found out that she shot like an entire sex scene type of deal with the Indian guy, like from like for the prior episode. So it was just that he felt that she didn't want to do it with him because he was black. So then like apparently that could be true. I mean, that would be my assumption. So apparently he was finding it difficult to work with her on set. Like, she wasn't, like, being receptive to his ideas and kind of standoffish at times with people on the set. Apparently she got into it with the director at one point and had a scene changed. And then they were talking about how they were doing promo work for season 2 where, like, TV Guide released these promo TV Guide covers where, like, each cover was, like, a different cast member. And apparently, like, him and her were on a cover because they had, like, the mixed kid who could, like, was an empath with technology and shit. So I think they released theirs as, like, a family cover. And then, like, I guess she said something to him at, like, a promo shoot or something after they were released and were being bought in the public that, like, him and her had the lowest selling TV Guide cover of all the cast members. And then, like...
How the fuck would she know that?
White woman finding shit out. So then, apparently, like, shortly thereafter, he got a voicemail from the showrunners that, like, he was going to be taken off the show. So he requested a meeting, and they basically told him that, like, they had nothing for him, even though they'd been telling him up to this point that they loved him, that they were going to bring him back for season 2, and that he was, like, part of the show and everything. So apparently, like, she sabotaged him so much on the show that she didn't want to be connected to him because she felt that, like, he was, as a black man, was bringing down her brand as a white woman. And they didn't say this, like, directly, but this is his take on the events that happened, because in this meeting, they basically like talked about how like he was a pleasure to work with, but they were gonna have to, you know, basically kill him off. And he said the one guy in the meeting told him, basically like, everyone on set hates her and we all love her. I love you, but if you ever tell anyone this, we'll deny it. And so basically they sided with the white woman and felt the black man was expendable. And so they ended up killing him off in like some crappy like he was like, his power was he could walk through matter, but he gets shot by a bullet. And so like he got killed off, like some random dude just shot him or whatever, and that was it. Like he died like beginning of season 2. And then like he said that like it affected him professionally because after that he kind of suffered from the like
you're hard to work
know
with.
like not necessarily that, but like some sort of like Hollywood like shunning of sorts. But then he also dealt with like depression and stuff that affected him in his personal life because he like was having a hard time dealing with the situation. So that's why like all these years later he's finally like telling his side of the story and getting out there so that he can kind of finally move on. Because I guess he's done some other stuff recently. But I guess, like, it was, like, in Variety that ran the article. I guess, like it said, they reached out to, like, a bunch of other people on the show, and, like, 9 other people corroborated his, like, most of his events that he detailed in his story. And that, the showrunners and the creators and shit that they reached out to, like, didn't necessarily, like, admit to the things he said. They just, like, gave the canned response of, like, you know, that's not how we saw the events on set, but, like, he was a pleasure to work with, and we hope him the best in, you know, his future, and yada, yada, yada. And, you know, we strive to, like, have an inclusive show where we had many different nationalities and that were represented on the show and blah, blah, blah. But, like, his thing, like, in the article was just, like, you had no one black that was on the writing staff, and, you know, like, black people, when you did all the promo work, were, like, in the back of all the promo shots. Like, we were in the back corners. They wouldn't put us in front and center. And they told us they didn't do it because we were too tall. And then, you know, like, the white woman complains and everyone doesn't like working with her, but you keep the white woman, you get rid of the black guy.
Yeah, did you see the Ali Larder issued a statement and apology about it?
Oh.
No, I didn't see that.
What'd she say?
I am deeply saddened to hear about Leonard Roberts' experience on Heroes, and I am heartbroken reading his perception of our relationship, which absolutely does not match my memory nor experience on the show. I respect Leonard as an artist, and I applaud him and everyone using their voice and platform. I am truly sorry for any role I may have played in his painful experience during that time, and I wish him and his family the very best.
What has she been doing lately? Probably nothing.
Yeah, I never gave a shit about Ali Larder at any point in anything I ever saw her, and so I have not kept up on the Ali Larder career arc.
I know.
She was in Final Destination.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember Varsity Blues. That's about the extent of my Ali Larder knowledge.
She was friends with Kitty Boo Boo fucking in that Dave movie. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Jane Silent Bob.
Yeah. And the other scandalous thing from that show was like Hayden Panettiere. Wasn't she dating like the dude that was on This Is Us? And she was like 17, he was like 34.
Whoa.
They were dating. I don't know if she was that young though. You might be right though. I could that'd be a quick Google
Milo
search.
when she was on Heroes. Milo Ventimiglia, whatever.
Maybe they filmed in a state where that was legal with parental consent.
California's the age of consent is 18.
It is.
How did you know that, like, right off the bat?
I remember. I know it because I remember it was a big deal when Tyga was dating one of them genders.
Kylie.
But
then she showed her titty with that soccer star.
Is
and now her titties are out there. They're legal titties.
When Heroes came out, she would have been 17.
Man, look at me being right for once in my life. But he probably wasn't 34, but he wasn't young though.
Yeah, it's just that.
So I'm on her Wikipedia page, and I clicked on like the personal life tab. The very first paragraph in her personal life says, Panettiere dated her Heroes colleague Milo Ventimiglia from December 2007 to February 2009. So if it was from December 2007, she would have been 18.
Okay.
She would have been 18 by about 3 months.
Oh, yeah. Of course, they got to put that date in there real strong. Like, oh, yeah. She's been 18.
Because it says her birthday is August 21st, 1989. So, she would have been 18 by about 2 or 3 months, depending on, that first date.
It's still weird to me that, like, you can, like, this is taboo in this state, and then, like, you go to West Virginia where it's, like, 12 for all I fucking know.
Yeah, he's 12 years old. He's 12 years older than her, so he would have been 30.
Half your age plus 7.
I'm okay with it. Don't care.
I don't care, but at the end of the day, that's his dick. Ain't nothing I can do with it.
Yeah. Apparently, they were together
at the end of the day, that's his dick.
They were together for over a year, and then she met that boxer, Vladimir Klitschko, and
he been knocking it out ever since.
She was with Klitschko from 2009 to 2011. Apparently, they split and then got back together and were together from 2013 to 2018. So, I don't know. It says 2018, she broke up with Klitschko, started dating Brian Hickerson. In 2020, they broke up after he was arrested for corporal injury on a spouse / cohabitant assault and intimidating witness Panettiere. The charges stem from alleged incidents between May 2019 and to June 2020. So as of right now, she's single. I'd be a stepdad.
Ready to mingle?
Like, I make sure to treat Vladimir Klitschko's kid real well.
Oh, they had a kid together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That dude, Vladimir, she has a thing for older dudes. Vladimir Klitschko is 44 years old right now. She's only 31. So she's got a little bit of like a daddy complex going on here.
Yeah, according to what was that movie she was in when she was little? The football movie, We Are Marshall or something?
Remember the Titans?
Yeah. She had issues.
Let's see how old this Brian dude is. If he's in his 40s, I think we can go with confirmation.
You might be too young for it.
That is true. Yeah. This dude must not be that famous because when I search him, what year did this come out? Oh, so he's only 30, so he's actually younger than her. In her normal dating life,
maybe she's finally got the help she needs.
No, that's the dude that was beating her up.
Oh no.
Yeah, you would thank God it wasn't the boxer. He would have killed her.
She's all over the place.
Right, dude.
I can't get a read on her.
For the first time ever, this show is sponsored. But we couldn't just be sponsored by anybody, you know what I'm saying, without doing something a little special. So, indeed, we are sponsored. But to do a sponsorship, in the skin way of things, we thought we'd flip it up for you a little bit. So this week we have a new segment. That segment is called Coded in a Witch's Titty. Sad stories with happy endings. Sponsored by Bella Bruja LLC. Bella Bruja is a Latinx woman-owned business here to help with your sometimes more metaphysical need. The Reverend Azulita de la Tierra Corazon, if my Spanish is not is right, is here to make your beauty magical and your magic beautiful by offering a number of services in health and beauty items. Spiritual coaching, marriage officiating, she really is a reverend. And for our local listeners, she also does readings at the New Moon, 15729 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio, on Saturdays. She also offers handcrafted herbal-infused lotions, oils, butters, and deodorants that will not only have you looking and smelling good, but feeling great. Our personal favorite is the Cosmic Pimp Hand Money Lotion. Head on over to bellabruja.com and take advantage of their many items and services and let them know the fine folks at Stays Krunchy and Milk sent you. But now on to our story. Because, we gotta hook it up, you know what I'm saying? And this is the story I chose that I felt was coded a witch's titty. A sad story with a heavy. Baseball rights a wrong by adding Negro League to official records. For years, Major League Baseball just basically was like, the Negro League didn't exist. But they decided the other day to try to right that wrong, and I thought that was pretty cool. More than 3,400 players from 7 leagues that operated from 1920 to 1948 will now be considered major leaguers in a move that will shake up the record books. This is by Tyler Kepner at the New York Times. If baseball somehow reflects America, as romanticists like to believe, then it also shares in its blemishes. The National and American Leagues were segregated until 1947, and the decades since have been marked by a halting kind of reckoning. On Wednesday, Major League Baseball took one of its biggest steps to redress past racial wrongs. It formally recognized several of the Negro Leagues on par with the American and National Leagues, a distinction that will alter the official record books to acknowledge a quality of competition that the long excluded players never doubted. With the change, more than 3,400 players from 7 distinct Negro Leagues that operated between 1920 and 1948 will be recognized as major leaguers, and the statistical records will be updated. All of us who love baseball have long known that the Negro Leagues produce many of our game's best players. Innovations and triumphs against backdrops of injustice, Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, said in a statement. We are now grateful to count the players of the Negro League where they belong, as major leaguers within the official historical record. The adjustment to the statistics will also assuredly result in a new single-season record for batting average, but the impact on other records will be fairly small as a result of the shorter schedules played in Negro Leagues, most of which only played 80 to 100 games as compared to 154 per season that was the standard in the other major leagues of the era. Records for some of the biggest stars will receive at least mild adjustments. The Hall of Famer Willie Mays, for example, is likely to be credited with 17 more of hits, though no home runs from his time with the Birmingham Black Barons in 1948. That would bring his career total, including hits from his time with the Giants and the Mets, to 3,300. The actual adjustment will be made after a review of available data by the Elias Sports Bureau, keeper of Major League Baseball's official statistics. The decision to recognize Negro League players as major leaguers was a welcome change for the people who have fought for years to keep the league's memory alive. But Bob Kendrick, the president of the Negro League Baseball Museum, said that no announcement from Major League Baseball could validate leagues that earned their own legitimacy. It gives greater context to the Negro League in a quantifiable way as opposed to the lore and legend that sometimes drives this story, Kendrick said of the changes. But I can tell you this. For those who call the Negro Leagues home, they never questioned their own validity. They knew that their league was as good as anybody's league, he added. Numerous leagues made up of black players formed as early as the late 19th century as a result of the color line observed by the American and National Leagues. The quality of the organization of the leagues varied wildly, but Major League Baseball's determined that from 1920 to 1948, 7 distinct organizations met the standards of major leagues. I think that's a good thing, May said on Wednesday in an interview with John Shea, his collaborator on a memoir 24 released this May. It recognizes guys who played way back. I'm talking a lot of good ball players. The group of 7 leagues has already produced 35 Hall of Famers, including recognizable major league stars such as Mays, Larry Doby, and Jackie Robinson, as well as figures who made their names entirely in the Negro Leagues, like Josh Gibson and Oscar Charleston. The leagues were dominated by champions like the Chicago American Giants and Kansas City Monarchs. Negro League play continued during the early years of the integrated majors, but John Torn, the official historian of Major League Baseball, said the landscape changed so profoundly after 1948, the year of the last Negro World Series, that Major League Baseball used that season as the cutoff. Thorne attributed the change to a bleeding of talent to the American and National Leagues and the dissolution of the Second Negro National League. Recognizable stars like Hank Aaron and Ernie Banks came to the Negro Leagues after 1948, and some of the leagues played as late as 1960. Wow. But extending the window to include them was not appropriate, he said. We're trying to honor individual players, we're trying to not honor individual players, but the league experience and the black experience in baseball and America, Thorne said. This story goes on so much longer than I care to read. But I thought it was dope. Like I said, I thought it fit the mode of Coda and the Witch's Titty sad stories with happy endings, because it's sad as shit that we had to have a segregated baseball leagues, but here we are 70 some odd years, nearly 70 odd years later. Well, I mean, I guess if you start from 1920, even longer, and trying to right some of those wrongs. And I think that's dope. And thank you to our sponsor, Bella Bruja LLC. Again, like I said, go check out their website, bellabruja.com. And if you cop something or you see them, seriously, let them know we sent you. Because,
hell How do you spell that?
You know what? Thank you for that. That is something I probably should, let the listener know. Also, of course, it'll be in the show notes. Bella Bruja is BellaBruja.com. And again, let them know we sent you because they're the first people to take a chance on us to sponsor us, and if they know we've done this, we've done a good job by them, then there you go.
So it's like Bruja.
So that's what's up, people. As I told you earlier in this very show, my partner has been very ill. I would go so far as to say deathly ill. So she has not been able to snag Am I the Assholes. However, Dan been tossing some our way in our little Twitter group chat we have. And I also slid over to myself and grabbed a couple more. So it's time for us to hit these Reddit mean streets and check a little bit of Am I the Asshole. I'm going to give you 4. I don't know which ones Dan read or didn't read. And you choose as you need to. Am I the asshole for telling my wife, 40 female, to grow up and staying Christmas with our daughters at my abusive parents without her? It's a Christmas one. Like, kind of have to read it, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Am I
Tis
the
the
asshole?
season.
My mom sent me a dick pic and is mad I'm mad.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I want to see the context.
Am I the asshole for arguing with my boyfriend over birthday cake? Is it the Jeremiah song? My nigga knew. He knew. Girl, you know Am I the asshole for waking my husband up when I found a mess he made to tell him to clean it up? That's a telling.
I did read that one for full disclosure.
Fair enough. Okay, so for sure we said Christmas and dick pic. Alrighty. Sure. Am I the asshole? My mom's...
Just a season for Christmas and dick pics. That's your show title right there.
Am I the asshole? My mom sent me a dick pic and is mad I'm mad. Long time lurker, first time poster, and I'm on mobile. I've only ever been on mobile, so I couldn't tell you the difference, but I always see the disclaimer. So, anyways, this morning my mom, 51, and I, 22, female, were texting, and she mentioned that 4 men from her past had texted her all last night. My parents have been divorced for 3 years, and it's been difficult for my mom to understand and respect the boundaries I asked for her in regards to her dating. Nobody wants to hear the intimate details of their parents' lives, but we've been working on it. She then goes, look at this Christian Grey wannabe, and sends me a screenshot of one of these men from the past, sending her a freaking dick pic. I immediately freak out, and I'm like, what the fuck, Mom? I could tell that she thought I was kidding with my over-the-top reactions. After the initial shock wore off, and I deleted the picture, I sent her a text that essentially said that it's not okay to send stuff like that, and it way violates any and all boundaries. She then gets mad at me for being mad and claims I'm shaming her and that I'm way overreacting. I literally feel like I'm taking crazy pills, because in what world does 1, a mom think that's okay, and 2, argue about the facts that it would piss off, make her daughter uncomfortable? I told her some of my close friends and most reacted similar to me, but a couple were like, I don't know, it's funny. Y'all are close. So, am I the asshole overreactor?
Well, I guess it could have been worse. She could have said, your dad wishes. No, nothing.
Do that again.
I thought there was going to be more, so I paused.
You think what?
All right, I said it could have been worse. She could have said, like, your dad wishes he was this big.
There we go. See, that part right there, that was a necessary bit of extra that did not, maybe we didn't hear it, and maybe you might have blanked out. So, oof, yeah, that would have made it worse. You are correct. That did make it more uncomfortable. Thank you, Gabriel, for giving me, like, the chills.
But I guess I don't know. Her mom is just trying to be like
a little bit.
Yeah, her mom probably doesn't have a lot of girlfriends, and it's her daughters that she's sharing with.
No. That is a problem sometimes with mothers and daughters, and in general, they become too much of a friendship situation. You know what I'm saying? It goes from you are being less my parent and more my buddy, and sometimes I need you to be on point and be my parent, and I can't fuck with you fucking with me in this regard. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I get it. You love me. That's cool. We tight, but you are still my mother. We are not girlfriends. Never send me a dick pic, bruh. I mean, I don't feel like her reaction is first of all, nobody want to see. Look, no, not to say nobody. I ain't gonna say nobody. I mean, her mama seemed like just ducky with it, but many people and most people are like, nobody wants the surprise. Nobody is a fan of the surprise butthole. In this case, the surprise dick.
No one wants to see the dick that's laying pipe to your mom.
God.
I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of seeing the butthole, whether it be a surprise or scheduled.
Yes, it's scheduled. You had a chance to.
All right.
Schedule
tomorrow.
Schedule.
10 a.m.
You had a chance to fucking. No, thank you. You know.
Be prepared.
Yeah, and I'm sure nobody wants to see probably a 51-year-old dick at that.
You, God,
but
Christ. Let's read a little few.
Depends on how
Let's check
that
out a
dick
few of
aged.
the comments. Not the asshole. You're
Salt
not
and pepper
shaming
dick.
her for having a sex life. You set down a boundary and she violated that. It's perfectly healthy for you to have boundaries with your parents. And if she wants to continue communication, she needs to respect them. You aren't telling her that her behavior is bad. You just don't want to know the details. The original poster responded, "This is what I tried to explain to her. She tried justifying it by saying she sends funny anecdotes about her dating to her, me, and her friends all the time. Like, this isn't a funny anecdote, and before, I'm your friend, I'm your daughter." This is what I do.
All right.
Let's scroll down a little bit, see if we see anybody else with a... I want to see somebody say you're the asshole. That's what actually I hope for, but this seems to be everybody saying, nah, you good. Here's one. This is from Elephant with Top Hats. That's this person's username. "Laughing my ass off. Your mom sent you a dick pic. Why is that so funny in my head? Don't get me wrong, it's 100% not appropriate, and you are not the asshole, but I cannot stop giggling about the situation. Mainly out of astonishment that your mom was so easy, was like, you know what's a good idea? Surprising my own child with a dick pic from some random ass man. Yep, that's what I want to do today. No shade or anything, OP. Just one of those giggle-inducing stories for me solely because it's insane. You're not crazy though, it's definitely weird. I'm also sleep deprived. I sincerely hope this is not offensive." Yeah, as I scroll through, everybody seems to think that this person is not the asshole. So I think we're clear here. It's not the asshole. It's wild creepy your mom, in my opinion, wild creepy your mom sent you a dick pic. But yeah, you know, motherfuckers can't fucking call it.
I saw a tweet the other day. It was a woman on Twitter, like a nurse or something, and she's like, I was at work, and all of a sudden my grandmother texted me, and it was like she sent me a nude on accident, and then she called me to try to explain to me that she was sending the nude to so-and-so, and then if I could please delete the nude from my phone and all that. And it was just like, she video recorded it, so it was like you could hear the grandma talking on the phone and everything.
Shit. Holy fucking cow.
Posing all sexy with Werther's Originals over her nipples.
I'm quite sure, like if my dad hadn't got remarried, he probably would have been try to send me like, yeah, look at these titties, Anthony. I could just see my dad doing that now.
I'll be honest, man. It's the kind of conversation that I don't want to have with a parental person. Like, it's not about it. Like, you bone my mom, man. Like, I don't need to have that talk with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just know my dad's just that type of dude. Like, you know, he wanted to watch pornos with us, and I'm like, I don't want to watch an adult film with you, man. Like, you made me my first sandwich. Come on, chill the fuck out, man.
Oh my god! All right. How was this? You said you read it, the one story box. How was the Was the making the mess or the birthday cake one?
It was something that it was the mess one. It was something that I felt like you guys as parents could probably have some sort of ability to relate to. I mean, I didn't know if like you were going to read it, so I didn't want to give it away.
It's like wildly long, and because we already have another Christmas one, that's why I kind of want you to give me the gist of it.
I mean, I could break down the gist for you if you want. So basically what it was is it's a married couple, and they're on different work schedules because the dude's like a medical professional of some sort, and she works like I think like at home, like on a normal like office type job or some shit. And so he works like crazy long shifts sometimes, and he comes home and he's tired and shit. So I guess like he comes home and like he unwinds with beer, and sometimes the beer's not cold, so he puts it in the freezer to get cold quicker. But then he's so tired that he forgets and falls asleep. Oh. So the cans explode. So she came home one day and found that he'd left 2 beer cans, like, and this is after having it happened a couple times, that she came home and found that he'd left 2 beer cans in the freezer that exploded, and she got pissed off, and she went and woke him up out of his sleep after he had just worked a long-ass shift and was, like, exhausted, woke him up out of his sleep, and made him get up and go to the kitchen and clean out the freezer. So then I guess like it fucked up his sleep. So then he was at work the next day, and he ended up texting her that like he was exhausted because she woke him up on that bullshit.
Oh, seems like you have an opinion on this matter.
Well, because like, I mean, like the way that the story was framed, they do a lot of their communication right now through like notes and texts and stuff because they're on such different schedules that they don't have the ability to have like an actual face-to-face conversation right now. So his thought was, you know that I'm working myself to the bone. I'm exhausted. It was a mistake. I fell asleep. I know we've talked about it before, but like, it's not like it was a dire situation. You could have left me a note and I would have seen it when I woke up, and then I would have handled it then. But instead you decided to throw a hissy fit and wake me up out of my sleep to come do this, and now here I'm at work doing like another 12-hour shift, and I can't get through work because I'm fucking exhausted.
Reddit disagrees with you, not the asshole. We'll move on.
Well, fuck Reddit.
Hey,
Reddit can suck my hairy balls.
I kind of feel like in situations where he was probably told, "Hey, don't do that shit again," and you kept on doing it.
Yeah, that was in the story. It wasn't the first time that the beer exploded in the freezer.
Yeah, I'd have woke his ass up too. Like, fuck that. Have you had that happen before?
I don't put shit like that in the freezer, but like my thought was like, the times we're in right now, if that dude's putting in that kind of hours at like the hospital, like just suck it up for a little bit. Like shit's rough right now. Like throw the man a bone. Like. You know, like the beer's already on the freezer bag of chicken. It's not penetrating it, ruining the chicken. Like it can. You can leave a note. It can wait a little bit. Like you're just upset that you told him something and he didn't follow through on it
over and over again, probably. And these days and times, you got to sit with that shit. Get your bitch ass up. And clean this up. I told you.
Well, I think the thing about it, though, is it's like they're not communicating directly. Everything's through passing right now. So it's like, it's probably sometimes maybe messages get a little, like you forget about shit when you're not having an actual conversation with someone. Like when you're just reading a text message or you're seeing a Post-it note on the fridge. It's different than sitting down and having like a heartfelt one-on-one with someone. But I don't know. I guess maybe I had some sympathy for the healthcare worker. I don't know.
At this point, it has to be read. I'll still give you the Christmas one, but this has to be read. So I think you, the listener, need the context. Am I the ass for waking my husband up when I found a mess he made to tell him to clean it up? My husband and I have split schedules. He is currently working a 12-hour night shift from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. 4 days a week. He's been doing this shift for about 6 weeks and has another 2 to 3 months to go before he has the opportunity to change it. I work normal 8 to 5 hour hours in the office where I still have to go in to work a couple of days a week and work from home the rest of the time. Since our work and sleep schedules are so different, a lot of our daily communication is through text or notes left for the other person. It's put a strain on our relationship for sure, but we've made it work as best we can for the most part. Some days my husband likes to relax with a couple of beers after work, but if he doesn't have any that are cold, he will throw a couple in the freezer for them to get colder faster. On at least 2 previous occasions, he has forgotten about one in the freezer and it has exploded into a huge mess. On both of these times, I've been the one to find it and clean it up. Each time, I kind of chastise him for it, and he sheepishly apologizes and just says he forgot about it and must have fallen asleep. Well, the other day I come home from work and start to make some food and open the freezer to find not 1, but 2 exploded beers. The entire freezer and everything in it was covered. I was tired from work and maybe a little hangry about it happening again. So instead of leaving it or cleaning myself, I woke my husband. I will admit I was less than kind in waking him up, and he tried to tell me that he would do it later. But I ripped the blanket and pillow and I told him do it now because I wasn't going to clean up after him again. And I knew he wouldn't do it until after he came home from work the next day. He begrudgingly came into the kitchen and I made him pull every single thing out of the freezer. I did help him by wiping down a lot of the items that had frozen beer on them. But I made him wipe the entire freezer down and then put everything back. When he was done, I thanked him and told him that now he knows how much of a pain in the ass it is to clean it up. Maybe he won't make that mistake again. He kind of shot me a look, but didn't say anything and just went back to bed. The next day, on my lunch break, I check my phone and I have a text from him saying that he's already tired and exhausted because I woke him up and that I should have just let him sleep and left a note about the mess and he would have taken care of it. I feel kind of bad waking him up to clean it, but it wasn't the first time he's done it, and I felt he needed to fully understand how much of a pain it is to clean that kind of mess up. I told a coworker the story, and he said I was kind of an asshole for waking my husband up in what essentially is the middle of his sleep schedule when I could have just left a note about it.
I've actually had to clean that up a couple times, and that shit is what it wasn't beer, but it was like Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper. It is terrible, and it is sticky, and it is gross, and then it's terrible to clean up.
I guess like in this situation, I just empathize with him. But only because he's like working these 12-hour shifts, and that's just got to be tough on somebody. If he was just working a normal 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, I would have been more on her side. But just the fact that she knows that he's under a lot of stress and tired all the time from this current work schedule that he's on, I was just more empathetic to his situation because of that. If it was anything else, I would have been on her side.
You made him a health worker, but I don't think anything about him being a health worker is in this story.
I guess, like, I assumed based on 4 12-hour shifts. Well, it says he's working 48 hours a week. Like, that's why I assumed, because, like, I know most nurses do, like 10-hour shifts and shit. So, it's not even he's doing 40 hours a week. He's doing 48 hours a week in 4 12-hour shifts. And this shit's been going on for months now. Like, that shit, he's got to be burnt out. Like, shit happens, man. Like, I felt like if you know that he's struggling and he's fucking exhausted, like, throw the man a bone. Like, it's not like he did it maliciously. Like,
here, this bracket
shit happens.
He didn't do it maliciously, but when things continue to happen, they become malicious situations.
This bracket of responses kind of is, I think, a nice little go. You're the asshole. I cannot even begin to fathom if my husband did this to me. He would not even think twice about pulling that BS. The lack of respect is evident. It honestly sounds like husband is forgetful. Everyone is. He's working 48 hours at night. Coming from a night shift worker, it's extremely difficult to constantly fight your circadian rhythm, let alone you waking him up because you're having a temper tantrum. You are a grown-ass woman. People make mistakes. You could have left that shit. He's right. You could have left a note, but instead you acted like a 4-year-old. The next response from somebody else. Well, maybe if her husband didn't act like a 4-year-old, she wouldn't have to treat him as much. My husband is also a shift worker and works nights, but he isn't stupid enough to do stuff like that. And I would not hesitate to wake him up if he kept making huge messes like that for me to clean up. Just be better. He clearly doesn't value his wife.
Maybe she should be a better wife and make sure there's some cold beers in the fridge and this shit won't happen.
I do agree with that a little bit.
Then that person the person who called me an asshole came back and said, "So it happened, 2-3 times? People make mistakes. I think she should have sat him down and discussed her concerns and feelings instead of chastising him. Maybe it wouldn't have happened again. I would be pissed if someone woke me up. She threw a tantrum. Bottom line." This next response is from the original poster. "That didn't work the first 2 times, so why should I expect it to change anything a 3rd time?" And then someone comes in. This is the last one. "OP, I think you can let go of this post now. You've argued with a lot of people who don't agree with you, and you already have a not the asshole label on your post. So rejoice in the fact that you're not the asshole and mentally yeet into the sun all the people who think you should forgive your DH and prepare cold beers from him. Who think you should forgive your DH and prepare cold beers for him. And also treat yourself to some takeout every now and again."
Yeah, that was just. I dig that.
What's a DH?
Dear husband or darling husband, yeah. Designated hitter, we only,
yeah, that's what I was like. What's baseball have to do with this?
National League or American League thing? That's American League, yeah.
American League, yeah.
Like everybody's different. Like if I get woke up, I think I'll be okay. If you wake my partner up, she'll be mad for 2 months.
In this whole Vanessa being sick thing, one, because she had been so sick, basically she was like, "I think you should probably sleep downstairs because I'm just going to keep waking you up." And I was like, "You are absolutely right. I will gladly sleep downstairs for a couple of nights while you get through this." So from the song, but the other night she woke up with some side effects from all of this. We didn't know what the fuck it was, and so at like 4 a.m, I had to get up and go to emergency room again to make sure everything was okay. So, and it's like when you get snatched out of sleep like that, bro, I was fucked up. My head was hurting. I was punch drunk. It was a bad fucking situation. So I hear you. When you get woke up out the fucking and get sent on mission work, not even like just woke up or you know what I'm saying, but like get woke up and get up. Man, it is difficult. So
yeah, it's very difficult. It's been a lot of situations where it's like, my kids wake up screaming and shit. Like that's a hard go to get back to sleep off of. It's out of nowhere.
It's jarring.
Oh man.
See, this is why I thought this one was a good one, because I didn't feel it was as clear cut as some of the other ones have felt in the past. Like, I feel like there's like an honest argument for both sides. Yeah. I know where I fall based on their living situation currently, and like I understand. I'm not saying that I think he's like infallible in the situation. Like, he definitely fucked up. I just felt like under the circumstances, I would have hoped that like, you know, be a little more understanding of the situation that he's in. But I get it. Like, I'm not saying she's unjustified for being upset.
I hear you. And I'm not saying you did. I just feel like that would actually need to get put out there so people could better understand it. We're gonna run through this Christmas one real quick. Am I the asshole for telling my wife, 40 female, to grow up and staying Christmas with our daughters at my abusive parents without her? Wife 40 female and I 42 male, together 23 years, married for 17, have 4 daughters together, 16, 15, 13, and 11. So they pulled a Gabe and kept it all one gender. Well, I don't know what the fuck we call it anymore. Whatever. At this point he got 4 daughters. Our relationship is good. We don't fight and we don't have any major issues. When we had our oldest, we decided that she would stay at home with her and our future kids. It worked well until last year. As our daughters got older, they didn't need that much attention from her. It caused some problems. She was used to being a full-time mom, but our daughters are quite independent for their ages, so she got a lot of free time in her hands and didn't know what to do. We discussed things, and I told her that it would be a good time for her to finish her master's degree, but she wasn't very keen on that. So she joined the gym and a few book clubs. Then our oldest introduced her to TikTok, and she got addicted to that. She started posting stuff about our private life. But hey, she wasn't bored and she was happy, so I went along. I even participated in a few. Then she started doing pranks on me. It was particularly funny because I get scared very easily. The prank started to get more elaborate. I told her to stop, and we had a lot of heated arguments about it. In March, I was taking a bath. She got into the bathroom and dumped a bucket of ice on me while recording the whole thing. I freaked out, got up fast, slipped, and hit my head pretty hard on the tub.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
I'm a big guy, 6'4", 248 pounds, so this was pretty bad. I woke up in a hospital 2 days later. Apparently, I got a hematoma from the accident and had to get brain surgery. Hematoma.
What?
Hematoma does not sound like a brain situation, but I guess a collection of blood vessels outside of blood vessels, a collection of blood outside of blood vessels, most common. Hematomas are caused by injury to the wall of. How serious is a hematoma? Similar to a bruise or a blood clot. If left untreated, it can damage the tissue and lead to infection and injury on the nose. All right, hematoma, not a big deal. I have no idea why. Maybe he just got it wrong. Hematoma, not a big deal. I knew as much too. I had to double check it. From the accident.
Fancy word for a bruise.
I got a hematoma from the accident and had to get brain surgery. Those two things don't mix. So he had something happen to him. Hematoma, probably not it. If he had to get surgery. I had to stay in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. I'm still doing physiotherapy sessions and don't have total control of my left arm. Fuck. After the accident, the previously good relationship that my wife had with my family and my family, and in parentheses, my mom has 3 sons. I'm the oldest, and we started dating very early, so my wife was the daughter that my mom never had. Took a pretty big hit. Damn, that was a lot of parenthetical. Anyway, the relationship with his mom took a big hit. They got into a few fights with her, and I had to step in. They got into a few fights with her, and I had to step in and ask everyone to calm down a bit. On to the issue. My wife and I alternate holidays between her family and mine. One year we go to Christmas with her family. The next one we stay with my parents. This year we're supposed to stay with my parents, but she doesn't want that. My family still makes some snarky comments, and my brothers are pretty passive-aggressive with her. She doesn't want to go to my parents this year because of that. I told her that I'm going with or without her, and she told me that I can't take our daughters without her. We got into a fight, and I told her that I am going. She told me she won't drive me there. I can't drive since the accident. Cold-blooded. That's cold in the witch's titty. Shit. I called my brother. I called my brother, and he's okay with driving us there. Our daughters are very excited to see my parents. We got into a fight, and she is currently not speaking with me. Her sisters think I am a jerk and that I'm being too harsh on her because the lockdown was hard on her. I told a coworker about this, and he's on the fence. So Reddit, am I the asshole here? Let's flow with this. There's a whole lot of stuff. So first story is yo stay-at-home mom has grown. The children have grown out of her stay-at-home mommery.
Empty nest syndrome.
Even though they're still there, they don't need a mom at this point. They're old enough to handle their business. So she finds TikToks, starts cracking pranks, which is a big deal. I've seen there used to be a ton of prank channels on YouTube. Still might be for all I know. One of her pranks leads to a severe enough injury that your ass is in therapy for it. Like I said, hematoma is probably not it, unless a brain hematoma or something else. But that alone is fucked up. I don't think it makes her an asshole because it was an accident, and he had stated how they had been pretty much having a good time with this up until then. So,
I wonder, could we find out on TikTok?
Probably so. Who knows? She may not even posted that one. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that is simply an accident. So that being said, I don't think in that regard anybody's an asshole. It was an accident that's fucked up, and it's kind of fucked up that his people is treating her shitty because of an accident. All right, so fill me on that one. And is it there? It is his turn, their turn to go do Christmas with his folk. Now, in my opinion, it's a time of COVID. Fucking stay your ass home. But whatever, you apparently are going regardless, even though you were just in the hospital, which puts you more at risk for having caught something and taking it home to your parents. But, again, it's just me. She is embarrassed because, you know what I'm saying, they still getting in her ass about this whole, joke thing. And so I get it. And so she don't want to go. But then she pulled that bullshit up, I ain't let you take my kids. It's like, bruh, they're my kids too. And this is where she becomes the asshole. Once you play that, you ain't taking my kids nowhere card, it crossed the lane. You feel me? That is where she becomes the asshole, in my opinion. He is not the asshole. Everything else before that, yeah, we good. You know what I'm saying? She going through some shit. She and having to change as a person and shit like that there. And it was all good until some wild shit went down. And even the wild shit was an accident. And accidents are forgiven. You know what I'm saying? But what the fuck? What y'all think?
Fucking both.
Oh my God.
Women be shopping, baby. Women be shopping.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I used to watch, like, the prank shit all the time back on Vine. And, like, I feel like the people who do that kind of shit have to be willing to accept the consequences when shit goes bad. Like, that's just part of the game.
And like I said, like he said, like, okay, well, stay your ass home. But I'm taking my kids to go see my folk. This is what we do every other year. We go see your folk one year. We go see my folk one year. That's just what it is. And it's my turn. And it's the terms we have come to in 23 years of being together. You know what I'm saying? That's where, like I said, all the rest of it, I don't even care about it. People was wilding out in the comments about, she almost killed you, my dude. And all that. I'm like, nah, bro. That part is, again, just dumb luck. Fuck that. That has nothing to do with this.
I don't know. That shit is a little bit more than dumb luck. He told her to stop that shit.
Funny because he said, I participated when she started doing pranks because it was funny. Because I get scared. When the pranks started, I told her to stop, and we had a lot of okay. When the pranks got more elaborate, he told her to stop. So, there, a part I just kind of glossed over. You are correct. There is where she becomes the asshole to begin with. He said stop, and she started fighting about it. Look, bruh, we had a good time.
He told her to stop, and he got seriously.
Yeah, for sure. We had a good time, but I said let's stop this shit, and she denied him his request, and uncool. That's where, like I said, so that is indeed where she becomes the asshole, and she sticks and is still the asshole. And I hope he has a good time with Christmas, and nobody gets.
I hope he put his balls on her eyelid.
Might be into that.
She in the funny pictures, probably. TikTok out the dog.
Eyeballs are farther spread apart than balls.
I was just about to say to you, man.
You got a really stretchy scrotum.
Especially like, summertime hot, everything kind of flies away from you. You can probably make it happen.
Yeah, you probably can in the summer. You need a warm room. You get too cold, you're not gonna be able to spread those balls enough to lay on the eyeballs.
Oh, fuck that. Was episode 377 of Stays Crunchy in Milk. As always, please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Hit up our YouTube and Twitch channels and give us a sub over there as well. If you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks to toss our way, you can join us over on Patreon, where members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. I am trying my best to get this our latest We Try edited, but again, as I just explained to you, my editor of video at least is ill, and so that is taking the easiest turn as I wanted to. But hopefully, I will have it out for you in time for this. Actually, in time for this, we shall see. We have merch available. tpublic.com/user/stagecrunchyandmilk, all one word. Plenty of things to have, and I am mentally working on a new logo that our patrons would understand, because we have a show over there. I'm going to try to get a logo for that particular show made. I have an idea. I just have to go have someone execute on said ideal. So we might have a new shirt option coming sooner than later. That is at least the hope. So keep a watch on the store. Some dope shit up there right now, but I mean, more shit to come. You know what I'm saying? We always keep saying the brand is strong out this way. Well, at least we try to keep the brand strong. And speaking of brands, again, this episode was sponsored by Bella Bruja, LLC, and the Right Reverend Azulita de la Tierra Corazon, which actually means something in Spanish, but I ain't trying to go out there and tell you, but let's see if I can do it. Azulita's little blue of the heart, but I don't know what Tierra is. What's Tierra? Land?
Land.
Huh. I don't know. But also, big up to me for kind of understanding my Spanish after all these years.
Yeah, you got most of it. I didn't even have to help you.
Hey, if you want to, give us a call. 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8POD. We would certainly love to hear from you.
Do you consider yourself bilingual, Gabe?
Yeah, I'm decent.
Does it?
His buy game is strong.
216. It's Lunchbox 2099.
That is a factual
That's my
statement.
homeboy, the real ODP. If you are celebrating, Merry Christmas, Happy Boxing Day, so forth, so on. Get out there and have a good time. If you're not celebrating, hey, and you got the day off, hopefully, enjoy. It's a celebration. Get some Chinese food. That's probably what we're going to do. And it's going to be great. Except for, I'm almost positive that's just texted me and said Nacho Fries is coming back to Taco Bell. And she's pretty hype off of that. So she kind of is interested in that. I'm like, for Christmas? Nah, not really.
They need something, because I'll be honest, man. Taco Bell, ever since they had that mass exodus a couple months ago, I don't really give a shit about most of the stuff there now.
Which just recently left was a work of art. And hopefully it'll come back. But the cheesy, I'm almost positive the app. It popped up in my app. They're saying the grilled cheese burrito is leaving soon. But get on that shit right quick.
Well, let me tell you this: as a man who eats chicken, they have a $1 chicken griller thing. It's got Diablo sauce and cheese on it. Pretty good for $1. It's a little small, so get a couple of them. But pretty good.
What is that thing they just said they said this bitch is back and you should get on it? They had a commercial about it.
Toasted cheddar chalupa.
Yeah, y'all told me about that. I tried that because, last time I checked, that big list of stuff with all the potato stuff was going. I was out.
Yeah,
and the Fritos.
I would order Uber Eats it. I would Uber Eats it every now and again. Because, I like Mexican pizzas and shit like that, you know? And now it's when I look at it, I'm just I'm there's nothing here that's, drawing me here. It's I think, oh, man, Taco Bell, that's it was like a treat almost. It was like when your parents would take you somewhere on the weekends when you were a kid as, a reward. So I look at it now, and I'm just this sucks.
The grilled cheese burrito still in the app. I might tell you, if you ain't got one yet, to get in on that. And then don't eat it to the next day. It's amazing. It is amazing.
What comes on that grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese.
It's got the Mexican rice in it, some sort of
rice,
sauce.
nacho cheese sauce, sour cream, a 3-cheese blend, chipotle sauce, red strips, and your choice of protein. So, and it's just good. It's grilled cheese. It's cheese on the outside of that tortilla. You know what I'm saying? Basically, they heat that tortilla, hit that bitch of cheese, and then actually, I think they probably make a burrito, wrap all the shit up in it, then they hit that bitch of cheese and hit it on the grill right quick. So grilled cheese, and for whatever reason, I always eat it the next day. I always buy one, and then I save it for breakfast the next morning. Throw that bitch in the microwave. I ain't trying to put it in the oven or nothing like that. Throw that bitch in the microwave, and it's so goddamn good. I don't even know what it tastes like fresh. Couldn't even tell you. Fresh, it might be the greatest thing ever, or the...
You like it congealed?
I like the flavors having a chance to marinate on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Get it.
Even the red strips?
Fuck them. I'm not trying to get I'm not there for the crunchy. I'm there for the grill. The cheese, baby. I am the Internet's Taylor 713. You have just been podcast to, and I know you loved it.
Or liked it as much as you did that Mexican pizza.
Yo quiero skim.
What happened to you? You used to be beautiful.